A pampered Cocker Spaniel falls in love with a mutt with a heart of gold is the synopsis for this movie. I think that kind of sums it up with some stuff here and there.
She really is.
Well, I think it's definitely a difference of lifestyles that they're trying to like portray between these two.
It's like Billy Joel's Uptown Girl.
Yeah. I was thinking like...
She's been living in her white bread.
So right off the bat, this is news to me. Did any of you know that Lady and the Tramp is not an original story by Disney and it's based on something?
I mean, like... No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't know that, but I saw it in the credits. It said, like, based on... Yeah. Didn't it say... Yeah, it caught my eye, and I was like, oh.
It's based on Ward Green's 1945 Cosmopolitan magazine story.
Wow.
So just a little single column in the magazine.
Is it dogs in the story?
It's Happy Dan, the cynical dog.
Wow.
Yeah. It's actually... I actually read it because it's, like, available online. They have, like, an image of it, too. It's actually quite the read. It's a Cocker Spaniel named Happy Dan, but despite his name, he's actually like quite cynical about people and humans. He doesn't believe that men are good, cats are evil, birds can be caught, that kind of stuff. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He pretends to believe in all those things to like keep up like the guise of like a good dog. Oh. But like internally, like he doesn't believe in all this stuff.
So he just like lives a lie.
He kind of is more similar to like Tramp's mindset in this movie.
Okay,
like
so Happy Dan is Tramp?
Kind of.
But I thought
like,
he was the Cocker Spaniel.
Well, they mix it up a little bit, but like the attitude of Happy Dan mirrors more of the way that Tramp feels about like being leashed and collared, that kind of stuff. And he has a loving home with a loving family, but they let him run loose anywhere that he pleases, and over town he has multiple families. And he goes by other names similar to Tramp.
Oh, okay.
So it's,
wow, those sound like bad owners, though.
Yeah, and then like the conclusion of the story is that one day when he's like out and about with one of his owners, he runs into another one of his owners, like kind of like the guy being caught with his side piece out in town.
And, like the CEO.
Oh, very topical.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's literally everywhere.
Yeah, so they get caught and he hides, behind the camera, and then
he doubly the man.
Yeah. No, but he plays it off by basically running up to both owners, acting all happy, licking their faces, and he even goes up to like a stranger and licks their faces too before running off. And the two owners, kind of simple-minded, just like, wow, he's such a great dog. Look how loving he is. And they're both just
used to... They don't even realize?
Yeah, they're both just used to the dog running off, so they just think he's off running through the world, where really he has, like, multiple families.
Wow. Wow, he's, like, living, like, double, well, triple, quadruple... Who knows how many lives?
Yeah, so they took, like, the Cocker Spaniel, but they put it with a different character, basically.
I gotcha.
That's the basis of this.
That's, like, very weird, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, this is still kind of considered, like, an original story from Walt Disney, and I'll get into why.
Wait, when was that story written?
1945, did I say?
Oh, okay.
I think I said 45. 1945. Wow, I'm really good. But yeah, so let's talk about how it gets into Walt's possession and how they create Lady and the Tramp. For this, we have to start in 1937, 18 years prior to its release date. Story artist Joe Grant came up with an idea inspired by his own English Spaniel named Lady.
Okay.
Same name. Joe and his wife recently had a new baby of their own, and Joe came up with the idea of Lady being shoved aside by the new baby from her perspective and like
God.
how she would feel.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
Did they shove Lady aside?
No, I think like he like had of like what this all looked like through the mind of their dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like he just felt bad for the dog. 'Cause the dog
that poor dog.
Yeah.
He would then bring Walt sketches of Lady, which Walt immediately loved, and commissioned Grant to start story development on a new animated film simply just called Lady.
Oh, that's a lame name, I think.
Yeah.
So naturally we see with all these Disney movies, they start with something and then they change into something completely different by the time it goes.
Yeah. But that's okay. That's just a creative process.
But I will say this one has a lot of changes throughout, which we will get to. Yeah.
Well, so many Frozen.
There's a whole documentary on Frozen 2 about how many changes
really?
Yeah.
on Disney Plus. If you ever look up, I'm sure it's still on there. It's like the making of Frozen 2. Mm-hmm. So many.
But even the original Frozen.
the original two. I'm just saying Disney documented their
Yeah.
making of the second one,
Yeah.
and
No,
there's
so many changes.
so many
That
story
explains why it was
changes,
so hard for me to follow.
so many
Really?
music changes. Yeah,
I love the second one, but it was like, yeah, there's a lot of things. But anyway. But yeah, like, Elsa was supposed to be the evil one in the first one. Like, she was supposed to actually be
I knew
evil
that.
and, like, whatever, yeah.
yeah. So from here, Joe and other artists start coming up with different approaches to the story, but of course, Walt was not really pleased with any of them. Primarily, he didn't like that Lady seemed a little too sweet, and there wasn't a lot of action in the original story.
Okay.
There wasn't really much conflict. It was just kind of bare bones. So from there, this is actually when Walt reads the Cosmopolitan article, which we discussed, Happy Dan and the Cynical Dog, and thought his story could be improved if Lady fell in love with a cynical dog character like Happy Dan, which is where we get the introduction of Tramp.
I love how they didn't call him Happy Dan, though.
I know.
Lady and Happy Dan.
Honestly, I like the name Happy Dan.
For all we know, his name could be Happy Dan. We never really find out his name because he doesn't have a name.
Well, actually, he has multiple names.
He has multiple names, none of which
Yeah.
are Happy Dan. So,
That's true.
so he purchases the rights from Ward Green, and we have the basis of our story now. Lady's love interest would go through a bunch of different names in development, such as Homer, Rags, and Bozo, which I kind of like the idea of Lady and the Bozo. I think that would have been nice.
Lady in Rags.
Yeah, Lady and the Rags.
But it wouldn't be the. It would be Lady and Rags.
Lady and Rags.
Because,
Lady and Rags.
yeah, because Tramp, it's not his name. It's
Yeah.
Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
Well, eventually they would decide on Tramp, which is taken from a line in the original story by Ward Green where he says he barked simply to found a legend that he was a good watchdog, and once he chased a tramp snooping around the perambulator when in cold fact he hoped the tramp was about to kidnap the baby. Brad, did you get any of that?
I feel like you just said words. Like,
Yeah, like
can I read it for you?
He barked simply to found a legend that he was a good watchdog, and once he chased a tramp snooping around the perambulator when in cold fact he hoped the tramp was about to kidnap the baby abroad.
Basically,
English doesn't make sense from a long time ago.
He chased away a tramp that was trying to steal a baby.
he founded a legend by barking. He was a good watchdog. That's the legend. He's a good watchdog. He chased a tramp snooping around the, I'm gonna say, perimeter.
No, that's how it was written.
I know, but
Okay.
I'm gonna change perambulator, whatever the fuck, perimeter. When he he chased him away, but he hoped that the tramp was gonna kidnap the baby, who he describes as a brat. That's the translation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's where tramp comes from.
Do you understand?
I was considering reading that story, but I feel like I would not, comprehend any of
Not
it.
with words like perambulator.
I don't even know what that means.
Let's look it up. An old-fashioned term for a baby carriage.
Oh.
Pram or stroller. So like a pram.
I could see why we kind of ditched that.
Yeah.
Seems-
Oh, that makes sense why the
Yeah.
Brits call it a pram.
Yeah, but I guess it comes from perambulator. Why the fuck would you call it that? That's such like a...
it sounds like an incubator.
It's like a... it's just like a very mechanical word.
I thought it sounded like an ambulance. to
Right?
me.
Or
like
that, yeah.
perambulator.
Or I thought it was like the wagon that was like collecting all the dogs to go to the pound.
So over the course of development, the story would go through a lot of changes as far as character details, events, and such, which I'll sprinkle them in as we go through and review the movie. But there's a lot, and I can just kind of throw some at you right now that were changed. There was originally a love triangle in this story between Lady, Tramp, and the Russian wolfhound named Boris.
Oh, I loved Boris.
Yeah, apparently originally he was going to have a bigger role and a love triangle between the two. I imagine he would have been more like in the jock trusty kind of role, like lived nearby and didn't trust Tramp. And then there's the, I mean, if you really think about it for like a brief moment, there is kind of like a love triangle square in this movie with Trusty.
Wow.
And
No, they're just being nice.
No,
Yeah, they were so old. They were too old for her.
They were
She was like 6 months and they were already like retired.
some other changes. There was a scene originally where Tramp described the world where dog and human roles were switched. So we would see dogs as the masters and humans as dog's best friend.
I'm pretty sure Family Guy did a multiverse episode with that.
Bam. Look at that right there.
What?
wrote that too. And then Aunt Sarah is actually, believe it or not, toned down in the final version.
Yo, she sucked.
She was the villain.
She's like the film's de facto villain. But originally she was much more of like the overbearing mother-in-law type, and didn't like Jim Deere. So like the two of them would butt heads a lot. Whereas in the final version, she's just more of like a misunderstanding.
A bitch?
Okay, yeah, bitch. Who doesn't like dogs?
She gives people who have cats a bad name.
She does.
But a bit of an unfortunate outcome for Joe Grant, the storyboard artist who came up with the idea. He ends up leaving Disney in 1949, 6 years before this film's released.
Why?
I'm not sure exactly the reason why, but Disney continues to work on the film, and
Yeah, because they bought the rights, right?
yeah, and they draw inspiration from his drawings that he initially did.
Damn, that sucks.
So Disney,
And it was after his dog too.
Yeah, well, Disney in his petty state, the way he worked around this from getting Joe Grant a film credit, he contacted Ward Green, the original short story author from the magazine, and asked him to write a novelization of this film that would be released 2 years prior to the film as a way to familiarize audiences with the story before it's released.
That's so fucked up.
That way...
Why is Walt such an asshole?
Well, and that's the reason why if you look at like the poster for the movie, like when it came out, it says inspired by a story from Ward Green, and they're basing this movie on the novelization rather than the original story.
That is so terrible. See, this is the kind of stuff that makes people really not like Walt.
Yeah,
Disney,
like as you were
because-
saying the story, I'm like, wow, like Walt, I guess he really was just a businessman.
Yeah,
like
he was a schemer. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate the business and all, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like what he does is not like ethically.
We've documented
Gray.
plenty times so far with these films that he has a lot of petty moments where he really believes like it's my way or nobody's
Yeah.
way. It would remain this way until the Lady and the Tramp Platinum Edition in 2006, where animator director Eric Goldberg finally cleared the air on a behind-the-scenes feature explaining Joe Grant's role in the film and, his contributions to the film.
Okay.
But that's why...
Was he credited in the book?
Who, Joe Grant? No, because originally... the basis of this movie was just on his illustrations, nothing to do with the short. It wasn't until after they started production where Walt read the short and realized he could incorporate some of that into his story as well. So that's why he buys the film rights, but he's also using his inspiration from Joe Grant's drawings and his dog as well.
Okay.
Um, So similar to Bambi, the animator studied dogs of different breeds, brought them in and sort of captured their movement and personalities.
Probably so fun because like
Probably is.
I don't know, you can't like play with deer and stuff for Bambi, but like
They did, though.
having all these dogs around, like,
Yeah.
that's so much more fun.
So they got the personality of all these different breeds that like they had in the film,
Yeah.
and just sort of studied them. They did run into an issue though with how to draw this film, because at this time there's a new filming technology that has been recently introduced to the public, and it's called CinemaScope. Did anyone notice how the way this was presented on TV, on Disney Plus, the filming format?
Yeah, it was
Very
like,
wide.
widescreen. Yeah.
Wider than usual. Basically, what this is, it's a widescreen filming to which there's a growing interest in the audiences, like I said. And this is Disney's first foray into this type of filming technology. And as a result, what they had been doing before in the past is your main characters are center of the screen, backgrounds behind them, and when they're moving, the background's sort of moving with them as well. You're sort of panning, like almost like 2D style. Well, now they've got such a wide screen that they're having to fill in all the area around them, kind of like when we went from 4:3 to HD on the TV.
Yeah.
So rather than moving the background with the characters now, if you notice, there's a lot of scenes where the characters are moving from the left of the screen all the way across to the right
Yeah.
of the screen.
Yeah.
So,
Really, because in the beginning of the movie, it was very like prominent to me that like when Lady was still just a puppy and she was like in the kitchen trying to go back and forth to the door, She was very much just in the center of the screen the whole time, and you could just see only the background moving.
Well, the characters are still in the center of the screen, but now they have to figure out how they're going to fill the rest of the screen so it's not empty.
A good
and there's nothing going on.
A good example of this is like, remember the scene when she and Tramp are running and then they come across the chicken coop? Mm-hmm. Well, if you remember that scene, like as they're coming around the bend, it's like they're the ones moving, but the background is not moving with them.
Oh, so they're just like getting bigger because they're coming technically closer to like the viewer.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I gotcha.
And they also had the issue, because this is a new technology, not every movie theater has the capability of displaying CinemaScope yet. So as a result...
Did they have to film it 2 separate ways?
Walt commissioned 2 versions of Lady and the Tramp, one in widescreen and one in the traditional aspect ratio, which I can imagine was an absolute hell for these animators.
Do you think that is the version on Disney Plus a mix of the two?
No, I'm fairly certain this is the widescreen version.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever seen the other aspect of everything, just sort of in like that 4:3 format.
I feel like that's weird.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, if you think about it, maybe that's what got released on VHS during the time, because like, I mean, we're not talking HD widescreen TVs at that point, so
maybe that's just what we grew up watching.
Maybe. Yeah, so they had to go back and reanimate these scenes and like restructure them so that like if it was a scene where like everything's kind of taking place in that widescreen format, they had to move characters around so that they're on screen, not hanging off the edges. So
Listen, that's job security, man.
This had a budget of $4 million to make, which I guess would be a lot for that time, you know?
Yeah.
But this film, despite all this, eventually did get released. And how was it received? Upon its initial release, critics were actually pretty mixed on this film.
Really?
Yeah, they were. They actually criticized the animation work, which I don't know if they just had the ability to retouch it over the years, but they cited that the CinemaScope actually worked against them as it highlighted the disappointment in the animation. Now, like I said, I think on Disney Plus we've got the polished, refined version, because they've re-released this movie over the years a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But I would imagine they had to clean it up a lot then, because I didn't think the animation was all that poor in this. It never really felt like they didn't capitalize on the CinemaScope aspect.
I don't really know like what they mean by poor animation. Like, what did they find poor about it?
I don't know if maybe they just found... Well, because like there's a lot of shots in this film where it's very clearly a static image.
Yeah, it's just
and not much animation going on.
Yeah,
I mean, I just kind of think that's the style of the movie.
Well, but also I feel like there are some other movies that have similar styles. So like, I don't...
It's also...
Like, for example, like if you look at like Cinderella... Like, that has some of that same element with, like, the static backgrounds and some, like, or, like, you know what I mean? Or, like, even Lilo and Stitch. Like, the watercolor static backgrounds. I think that's just a stylistic choice.
I mean, I think either way, it's a big ask that they're doing. I mean, the animation is not really getting into this realm. This is primarily live action filming that's using this new filming format. So, like, this is his first attempt.
Yeah.
It would be hard to imagine he's just going to knock it out of the park.
Well, see, this is what we were talking about earlier with you gotta defend your artwork.
You gotta defend
we
your
learned
artwork.
how to do that in school,
in
art school. Yeah, because you had crit. And like,
these critics are tough.
Yeah, when we had critique, that's what it was whenever you had a project, and like, I don't know, like for him it was different, but like,
I would never be able to like.
It was
be in those classes.
we were vicious. I came out crying. Other people came out crying pretty consistently. Like, we're vicious people.
Yeah.
Us artists. So you know, it's just the nature of the business.
Well, I said mixed because even with that, being said, the story was praised, however, citing it to be a delight for kids and a joy for adults as well, which I think is pretty...
I thought it was a nice story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some aspects of it kind of sucked, but...
Over the years, obviously, the perception would change, and it's now pretty much regarded as a classic of Disney. Specifically, I think the spaghetti dinner scene is kind of regarded as like its most iconic scene. Rotten Tomatoes has a 91 fresh rating among critics, 80% among audiences. The American Film Institute would rate this film 95 on their list of the 100 greatest love stories of all time. One of 2 animated films, the other one being Beauty and the Beast.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Like I said, it had a budget of $4 million to make, and it would initially take in a higher figure than any other Disney animated film since Snow White, earning $6.5 million in distributor rentals. Over the time, it had a domestic lifetime gross of $93.6 million and a lifetime international gross of $187 million. So not a bad chunk of change.
See, I think the thing that like we can take away from this is that people love animals.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's a pretty I feel like you're
like people want to watch like movies about animals.
Happy movies about animals.
Yeah, not like
to be clear.
Yep.
To any movie producers out there.
Yeah. We don't like it when the dog dies, okay?
We would eventually get a direct-to-video sequel titled Lady and the Tramp 2: Scamp's Adventure.
Can I just tell you, I fucking loved that growing up.
Oh my god.
It's like so lame by comparison. Like it's definitely like a traditional Disney sequel, but I loved it because it was their son, Scamp, the little one you see at the end, and then he wants to be a junkyard dog, and so he like wants to run away. He's like, my dad used to be so cool, and then now he lives the cushy life, and he runs away, and he meets up with these junkyard dogs, and some of them like knew Tramp when he was like out on the streets, so they're like, oh, Tramp betrayed us, and he like meets this girl dog named Angel, and she was like the cutest she was the little blonde one, you know, and it was super cute. Like it was a really cute movie. And then he appreciates his life at the end.
Yeah,
I love it. I had the summary right here, but you just
so sorry.
No, I'm glad you did it. Because you've seen it, I haven't.
Multiple
You explained
times.
it way better than I could have.
I mean, like I don't even know. I'm sure there was music. I don't remember the music at all. Like it wasn't memorable in that. Like it was a great film. I just liked it as a kid, you know.
Yeah.
Well, we would also, in 2019, to coincide with the launch date of Disney Plus, a Lady and the Tramp live-action remake.
You and I watched that.
We
thought it was cute.
I thought it was, by live-action standards, I thought it was pretty good.
I don't really remember it, but I remember loving it.
Yeah. No, it was a really cute. It was very like cute for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It didn't stray very far from the original story, and it was just, it was very
Disney,
well done.
take notes. Just saying.
And then finally, let's look at the Disney parks and see where we can find Lady and the Tramp. And there's really just one big one. I think we all know it. It's Tony's Town Square Restaurant.
Okay, well, outside of Tony's Town Square Restaurant, in the pavement, there is the Heart with their paw prints.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I was kind of considering all that one, but yeah, you're right.
No,
Yeah.
that is different.
That is different. Okay, well.
It's stroller parking for Tony's.
I mean, yeah.
That's in Walt Disney World. A little bit of fun fact, there's a reason why this restaurant is located here on Main Street, of all the places. Originally, Walt wanted to have the setting for this film to be Marceline, Missouri, which, if you don't know, that's Walt's childhood hometown. And while Lady and the Tramp was in production, Walt was also designing Disneyland in California and styled Main Street, USA to resemble Marceline. So as a nod to the inspiration, Tony's Town Square is put on Main Street, USA because it fits in with the setting of the movie.
Oh, cute. Except that the movie is actually in New England, but it's fine.
Do they ever, make that clear?
Yep. In the opening song.
Really?
Yeah, they talk
Missed
about
that.
how it's in New
I
England.
missed that.
Wait. Wait. It might be in the second one.
You mean Mandela?
No, it might be the opening song in the second movie.
I don't think it's in this movie, so I think it's
They
the
talk
second
about
one.
how it's a New England town.
I was gonna ask
Hold
what
on.
year this was also.
Okay,
supposed to be.
actually, that's funny because that's my second bullet point on my notes.
Because they had-
what time period is
Yeah,
this?
because they had muddy roads. There was no pavement. Yeah, it was all mud.
And a lot of it was like horse and buggy.
Yeah.
I assume this was supposed to be current time for when it was made, so I'm just gonna assume it's supposed to be taking place in 1955.
With only horse and buggy? No shot.
I mean, in the rural areas of the country, maybe.
They were not in the rural areas. They had
They weren't rural.
yeah, they had a zoo. They
It did
had
have a zoo. You're right.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna play the Lady and the Tramp 2 opening song, if you don't mind, just because I need to know.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the second one that has the clarification of where they are. They're in New England. Also, definitely not Missouri. Well, I mean, Missouri gets snow, I guess, but
This place got a lot of snow.
they have a lot of seasons there.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, that's true. They did have a lot of seasons.
yeah. I mean, I've never been to Missouri, so maybe I'm just being ignorant here. I don't know. I would imagine though, the seasons in this movie reminded me of
New England.
New England, because we live in,
I
the
would agree
general
with
area.
that. Yeah. All right, well, Lady and the Tramp released in theaters on June 22nd, 1955, rated G, and has a runtime on Disney Plus of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 46 seconds. Directed by Hamilton Lusk, Clyde Geronimi, and Wilfred Jackson. Story by Erdman Penner, Joe Rinaldi, Ralph Wright, and Don DeGrady. Music by Oliver Wallace, and starring Peggy Lee, Barbara Luddy, and Larry Roberts. So, cue the overture and the opening credits. I actually really liked these title cards. I thought they were really cute. They almost look like storyboard sketches, like when they were developing the film. I don't know if they were, but that's what they look like to me.
That's what I actually wrote that down. I said, where did the musical intros go with Disney? I feel like this kind of intro kind of died. And then I also wrote, it's such a nice intro with the credits, sketches, and music. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, like what is the last Disney film that had this type of intro?
I don't know.
I know the Jungle Book had it, and
but
that was
I
like,
could do
what,
without
70s?
them.
You didn't like
You don't
it?
like them?
It's not that I didn't like them, but like when I start a movie, I just want to like get into the movie because then it's like I press play and then I'm sitting there. Sometimes it feels like forever just watching credits.
But
See,
Hillary,
I really enjoy that.
Without the overture, how are you going to know when other music comes up that it's been referenced in the beginning?
You don't understand the musical themes.
Exactly.
Okay, he's quoting The Office because, but whatever.
But the point's valid.
But
so.
no, but it is. But like a lot of older movies did that. Like if you watch, okay, I'm gonna use this as an example, but nobody come at me, okay? Like if you what?
I know what you're gonna say.
Do you? Because there's like 3 things in my brain.
Is it Gone with the Wind?
That's one of them.
I feel like somehow, some way on this podcast, Gone with the Wind comes up every single time.
No, it's just,
I know. I feel like it does
it
too.
really?
And then I always think, and I always confuse it with Sound of Music.
Oh, well, that one too. I feel actually does the same thing. Like
And the third?
it was gonna be like the 10 Commandments, Ben-Hur. No, but like.
I don't know what that one is.
Okay, so those are just. I'm using these movies as examples because they are.
Like classics.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that, but they have that kind of like the thing. So like you would have like an overture, and it would like go through the credits, and the music would like set up the story for you, so that later on when the music was like revisited, you would have like the musical theme to kind of like reflect back on.
I like when
those-
it's quiet and you're just like dropped into like a dark room. And
Okay.
then, I don't know.
Well, that's what you like.
And also for those movies, theater viewing was different. Like you had the audience funneling in, getting their seat, and while the music was playing,
Yeah.
waiting for everyone to
Yeah,
get
that's
situated.
That's like me running to grab my snacks and stuff.
Yeah, see now we just we go in there and we watch like 800 years of previews.
Mm-hmm.
We get Nicole Kidman trapped in a movie theater.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, the movie starts at 7:15, but actually the credits don't even start till like, or like the opening, like bullshit ads don't start until 7:30. So 7:15, my ass.
I read somewhere that there was a movie chain that was going to start incorporating like in their information for movies when the actual movie starts.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna
they
say that. I saw that too.
Yeah, I forget
Yeah.
who that was though.
Well,
People
whoever
would
it is.
never show. There would be so many people late though.
So what?
That's our
I
problem.
guess that's
Okay.
true.
Well, they wouldn't be late. They would be
But
on time for the actual
no,
movie.
it would be kind of annoying though because then I feel like people would be showing up late and walking in disturbing me watching the movie in the beginning.
I mean, I'm not averse to like some previews. Like I get like the ones that are like when you know the movie's coming, you know, where it's like the like sit down, silence your phone, popcorn, all kinds of like
Yeah.
those are fine. But I feel like you don't need
The M&M's commercials.
like there's like 20 minutes of
Yeah, it's like Coca-Cola products served at this.
yeah, and it's like okay,
Theater.
okay, I get it. Like I like the coming attractions and all that, but like everything else, I can do away with. Or, what's her name?
Maria Menounos?
Maria Macaroni over there.
Menounos. Yeah.
And she's like doing the trivia.
That
Yeah,
one, yeah.
like I can't do it. But anyway, well, we'll never see her again probably because Seaford Cinemas is gone.
Oh, I thought she like died or something.
No,
I was like, what happened?
no, but Seaford Cinemas is.
Yeah, I know.
Red.
I never would go there.
Me neither, but like sometimes they had like a good like cheap matinee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that either.
Oh.
Well, to go along with all the opening credits, we hear our first song for the film, which is one that's going to pop up a bunch of times. It's the main title, parentheses, Bella Notte.
I like that song.
I do too. It sort of centers around the theme of love, which is pretty much the biggest theme of this movie. And after the credits conclude, we get a brief little message from the Walt Disney Company. In the whole history of the world, there is but one thing that money cannot buy, to wit, the wag of a dog's tail. which is a quote from Josh Billings. If you want to know who that is, he is a American humorist and lecturer of the 19th century.
I mean, like, money can buy the dog, which buys the tail that wags, but...
So, it is to all dogs, be they ladies or tramps, that this picture is respectfully dedicated to.
Heck yeah.
So nice.
We then fade into our opening scene, along with transitioning into our next song right off the bat. It's Peace on Earth, performed by Donald Novis. If his voice sounds familiar at all, 2 other Disney credits to him. He sang Love is a Song, the opening song from Bambi, to start that film off. And he also co-created and starred for 9 years in the Golden Horseshoe Revue in Disneyland.
Oh, my favorite thing ever.
Have you seen that? Not the Diamond Horseshoe.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
This
it
is
was
Disneyland's version,
No.
the Golden Horseshoe.
Okay, sorry.
Is
No.
that a restaurant?
It's similar, yeah. It's a show and
I've seen the Diamond Horseshoe.
not as good.
I don't like things like that.
Okay.
like, who do you do a review?
Yeah, I don't like things like that. It
You just
doesn't-
want to eat your food in peace?
Yes.
You want to clap along and
No, I don't want to interact with my food.
clap your hands and stomp your feet and try to keep right with them.
Yeah, no.
And like, so you wouldn't want to go to, oh my god, why am I blanking on the name of the restaurant right next to the high school?
Patrizzia's. I actually
Where you
wanna
like,
wig-
take
wig
the
the-
napkin and...
So can I tell you, I actually hate Patrizzia's.
Really? I think their
Yeah.
food is good.
I don't like their food.
Oh, really?
Really. But I've never been to the one here.
Okay.
I've only ever been to the one by you.
Yeah. And I had drinks dropped on me, or what was that?
Oh,
no, you
No,
got
that-
clunked in the head.
Oh, I got clunked in the head by a
by
waiter.
something really heavy.
Yeah,
Like-
bringing food back to the
Oh, gosh.
back room, just clunked in the
Yeah,
back
it was
of the
actually
head.
really bad, but...
I think it's fun. Everybody takes their cloth napkin, puts it in the air, and waves it around.
So, like, the last time... Not the last time, but the first time I ever went there was for a Christmas party for an old job. And they had wine on the table, and I ate fried calamari.
I see where this is going.
I had a rough night. Dan had a rough night, too.
A rough night was had by all.
Yeah.
Peace on Earth is actually a Christmas carol, and I gotta admit, I'd never heard this one before outside of this film. Have you ever heard this around Christmas time?
yeah.
No.
No,
Really?
I feel like I did.
Oh, I've never heard this one before. I thought this was just a song for Lady and the Tramp. Apparently, it's like a well-known Christmas carol.
How's it go?
Silent as a snowflake in the night, holy is the spirit of the night.
Oh, right.
Obviously, he sings it. He doesn't just say it like I did, but
Yeah, I feel like I wasn't like, huh, this looks new. Like, it seemed familiar to me. I could be wrong.
Maybe it's because you've seen the movie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever noticed that it's been, like, out and about in my life, but maybe it has. I don't know.
all the world is calm and peaceful. All the world is bright and joyful. It's a snowy night on a quiet street. We pan all throughout town and we see all the houses with their lights on, celebrating Christmas Eve.
Maybe I was confusing it for Silent Night.
That's what that's
It
what
is
I
very
confused.
similar.
Yeah, it is pretty similar. They kind of do sound the same, but this is actually where I think they did a pretty good job using the cinescope, because you get like this long shot of the horse and carriage, and they follow the horse and carriage until it passes out of the screen, and then you just get the view of the street, and it zooms all the way down onto the house where everything is going to take place.
Yep.
So pretty good job there. Through the window outside, we see a Christmas tree, and make our way into the home underneath the tree, where amongst the other presents there is a pink hat box with a bow on top.
It's so cute. This is my dream, by the way.
To have a Cocker Spaniel
No.
gifted to you on
Not
Christmas.
quite that.
to have like a pet gifted to me in this way. It's the
But
cutest thing.
Pets are not gifts.
I know, but like, I would.
Make sure everyone take note.
Yeah, like
Pets are not gifts.
I know they're not gifts, but you know what I mean. Like if I'm gonna get a pet,
Yeah, I
like
guess.
I would like Dan to surprise me with a pet in such a way.
Maybe one day.
Listen, I'm an avid animal lover, and you
No,
know
I
that.
know.
Please.
I don't want the listeners to get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
A man.
Adopt, not shop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just saying.
A man hands his darling wife the gift, and she takes the bow off, and before she can even open it, we hear puppy whimpers, and a Cocker Spaniel puppy with a red bow on her head pops out.
How long do you think she was in the box? See, that's my only thing. It's like, how long do you leave?
Do you think he poked holes in the box?
No.
There were no holes in the box.
Oh, man.
Like, where did he get her? Like, was there a breeder? Like, what happened? When did he get her?
I don't know.
Like, did he go that day? Because, like, a lot of stuff is closed on Christmas Eve.
People who give dogs as like gifts. I've always wondered this, like when they do this on Christmas morning, like is the shelter or wherever you got them from, like are they open on Christmas morning? Did you go out early in the morning?
Yeah, like
if not, did you get the dog the night before?
Like,
Where was the
I
dog
like
been?
they usually like have a friend or family member nearby hold
guess
on
so.
to it.
I just am
until
so
the
confused.
holiday.
And then it's like,
See, like, and these are the
all right, I'm gonna run
practical.
out now.
These are the practical like obstacles in which I understand that like this moment is not realistic or feasible for people. Like, and I get that, but like in my like little Delulu land, I like this idea. But
Yeah.
like I would never expect anyone to execute this because of like all of these issues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Well,
just so you know.
okay, well, I appreciate
No
that.
pressure.
Well, the woman's overjoyed by the gift and calls her a perfectly beautiful little lady. Two things. One, Lady as a puppy might be the cutest thing Disney has ever animated
She is
ever.
really cute.
Yeah, she is cute.
And two, this whole sequence is inspired by an unfortunate real life occurrence. Does anyone know about this? No.
I mean, unfortunate.
Yeah, like,
life
what-
Well, I'll
occurrence.
get to it. Walt did the exact same thing for his wife, Lily, with
Yeah.
a Chow puppy as a gift in a hat box.
Tell me it was dead when they opened
No,
the box.
no, not that
Oh my
unfortunate.
God.
It's,
He didn't poke a hole.
no, the dog is fine. The dog lived.
Oh, okay.
However, it was not Christmas morning like it is here. It was because he was making up for having previously forgotten a dinner date between the two.
So his reaction was to
The
give her a
gift.
dog. Oh my god.
don't
That seems
know if it-
extreme.
I guess
Right?
it smoothed things over, but that's where they drew inspiration from for this.
Okay, well I like it better on Christmas, not as like a.
Sorry, I
forgive
missed
me.
our date.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what?
We get introduced to a bunch of characters here, so let's run through them real quick. First up is one of the two main characters, Lady. She's voiced by Barbara Luddy. She has a couple Disney roles under her belt. She would go on to also be the original voice of Kanga in The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the film, and Merryweather in Sleeping Beauty. And she also did some brief stuff, like she was one of the puppies in 101 Dalmatians as well. Her owners are known as Jim Deere and Darling, and that's all they're ever referred to in the movie, which is meant to be seen through the eyes of the dog. So that's what she
Yeah, it
thinks
took
their
me
names are.
a minute when I heard her say darling, and I was like, oh, are they like related to like Peter Pan, like the parents in Peter Pan?
that's funny.
Like, I was like thinking it was like, you know, just how sometimes the universes are like connected.
Yeah.
But then I realized when Lady kept calling him Jim Deere, I was like, no, his last name isn't Deere. And I was like, oh, it's because the wife always is like, Jim Deere. It took me a minute. I don't know why. It took me longer than it should have for that to click.
Now, originally, these two did in fact have names. They were going to be Jim Brown and Elizabeth Brown being their last name, so I guess Jim Brown and Elizabeth Brown.
Oh, that's boring.
Then when it was decided that it would be through the perspective of a dog, it was changed to just Mr. and Mrs. before finally settling on the more affectionate Jim Deere and Darling.
Yeah, so then this got us talking about what we think our pets think our names are.
Yeah, like what do you think your cats think you are called?
I've told them
Oh,
that my name is Hillary.
you made that clear right from the get go. Okay,
I did do that with Apollo actually when he came home.
you said Toya.
I was like, hi, my name is Toya.
Another aspect of these two is that their faces are rarely shown, similar to the adults in like the Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Yeah, because we don't care about that.
But interestingly enough, Aunt Sarah, who we meet later on,
Ugh.
she's the only adult whose face we see routinely.
Yeah, because she's the villain.
Yeah, and I think the idea here is that like every dog has their own like Jim Deere and Darling, but not everyone has like an Aunt Sarah.
Yeah.
Like she's more noteworthy, I guess you would say.
Because she sucks.
Finally, before we continue on, Jim Deere is voiced by Lee Miller, who would also be the voice of Pluto in all the shorts that we've seen. He also pulls double duty in this movie. He also voices the dog catcher that we meet later on.
Oh, that asshole?
Yeah, that asshole. And Darling is voiced by Peggy Lee. She actually has top billing in this movie, and rightfully so. She's a very popular jazz and pop singer at the time. And that's also where the name of the other character she voices, Peg, comes from. The dog that sings He's a Tramp.
Yeah.
And Peggy Lee would also be the voice of the two Siamese cats that we
Cyan Ann?
Yep. Which, with context, is a little troubling, considering what the characters are and
Yeah.
who Peggy Lee is, but
Yep.
what are you going to do?
Yep.
We know that the cats had a name.
Cyan
Their
Ann.
names are Cyan Ann.
Not said in the film, but over the years, Disney has...
Oh.
Yeah. And I think when the movie came out, they were written as Cyan Ann. Yeah. Or maybe they were from the book as Cyan Ann. I don't know.
It's kind of fucked up either way.
Yeah. So we see Jim Deere and Darling settling Lady up for her first night at home.
Which, like, so you open the present of the dog on Christmas Eve, right? So you've been with her for what? Like 15 minutes? An hour? And now you're going to just dump her in a room. She's been in a box all by herself in the dark. And now you're going to put her in a room all by herself in the dark?
They have a basket with a blanket in it serving as her bed, which they bring into the kitchen for her to sleep in. Lady puppy hops her way over to Jim Deere and the basket and is placed inside it, and the two say goodnight to Lady and head up to bed. But Lady doesn't want them to leave, so she hops out of the basket and follows them.
Yeah, as she should, because what the fuck?
Yeah, why she gotta sleep in a basket in the kitchen?
I literally wrote, Jim Deere kind of sucks. Who locks a puppy in a room alone? Like,
He tries to correct the behavior, and he keeps bringing her back to the bed, but Lady figures out how the kitchen door works. It's not one of these doors that closes shut. It just kind of swings.
Yeah.
So she keeps pushing her way out. Jim keeps bringing her back in.
Now, I want to just clarify, because I know people are going to come for me. What about crate training? Yeah, you can crate train your dog. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. That makes sense. This is not that. They didn't have that back then, as far as I know. And, like, they didn't have a crate. So they just, and she's a little baby puppy, and it's a movie, and they locked her in a fucking room, and then they yelled at her, and they were like, go to sleep, like she's a child. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you she does not understand.
Did you not know what you were getting yourself into when getting a puppy?
See, what
Puppies
happened was,
are a lot of work.
What happened was, Jim Deere wanted to score some brownie points on Christmas, and he wanted to get laid for getting Darling such a great gift. But Lady being in the bed wasn't going to let that happen, so that's why he didn't want her in the bed. See?
Oh, you're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good thought process there.
This is why animals are not gifts.
Well,
because also, like, it's not like they had at this time, they didn't have any other kids. Like, who would not want their pet to cuddle with them at night?
Oh, what the hell?
Darling is the one who kind of, like, asked Jim to reconsider, and maybe they should let Lady sleep with them with the bed. But Jim is adamant that they have to be firm from the beginning, otherwise she won't learn. Yeah. So he brings her back down to her bed, and the way to keep her in the kitchen, he places a chair in front of the door so it won't swing open.
So mean.
Yeah.
And when Lady has trouble opening the door, she begins to cry and whimper for her owners. And
my cat started looking at the TV. They're like, what's going on?
Sebastian was too. He looked up and he was like, and he's looking at me.
He's doing
like,
the head turn.
Yeah, he was like, what's happening? And I'm like, it's okay, bud. It's just the TV.
So Jim, hearing all the commotion from upstairs, he bangs on the floor below and tells Lady to stop crying. And Lady stops crying for a second, but she's more so just excited to hear their voice. So she starts crying more and more, being able to hear them, but not get to them. So Jim Deere comes back downstairs and bangs on the door, ordering Lady back to bed, and we fast forward to 2 a.m. Lady has been up all night.
I know. This is so sad. Because this is so real. Animals, like, because their concept of time is not the same, so, like...
She's like throwing herself against the door over and over again, nudging the chair in front of the door further and further away until she has enough room to escape. And she first faces the tall task of climbing the stairs, which takes her a while. But eventually she makes it to the top. She knocks open Jim and Darling's door. And at first she's startled by Jim snoring.
Well,
and a little afraid.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
But she makes her way to the bed.
I would have been like, all right, I'll go back in the kitchen.
She cries some more. Finally, Jim Deere and Darling, realizing that it's no use, they give in.
Just for the night.
They let Lady sleep on the bed, but Jim says that it's just for one night.
Yeah, jokes. That's what every pet parent says.
And then we fast forward. Lady is grown now. It's clearly not one night. She's still sleeping at the foot of the bed.
Yeah. I think she's 6 months old then, they say.
Yeah.
This might be the most accurate depiction of dogs I've ever seen. Like, you say, all right, just for one night, and now it's their routine for the rest of the time.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever and ever and ever.
In the morning, Lady wakes up Jim Deere early to start the day.
Well, this is, like, again, 6 months later.
6 months later, yes. But it's the start of the morning. And Jim's annoyed because Lady doesn't seem to know that it's Sunday, and this is the day that we sleep in.
Well, dogs don't have a good concept of time. They don't understand.
Is this, like, week. Yeah, and also, like...
They're not very prepared for a dog.
Yeah.
No.
Lady races downstairs and out the doggy door into the yard where she begins her morning routine. First, she chases the birds that are sitting in the yard, chases them away. Then she buries one of her bones in the flower bed, and she even rips one of the flowers out, and her way of fixing it is to just put it back upside down on the dirt.
Yeah, the poor tulip. But you know what? She did her best.
Never stood a chance.
She didn't mean to.
She then spots a very evil-looking rat in the yard with yellow
it was
eyes.
Gross.
It was.
And barks at it before chasing it away out of the yard.
And she was going to get out because she was digging, you know? And she only got distracted by the paper.
She gets distracted by her next responsibility, which is bringing in the paper for Jim Deere. So Paperboy throws it. She catches it. She tries to bring it in the house, but she can't figure out how to fit herself and the paper. So she backs in ass first, and the door from the doggy door just rips the paper like completely.
That's okay.
But only the cover of the paper.
Only the cover, yeah.
It's fine.
Because then Jim was reading the paper and he's like, wow, there's been no bad news.
It's amazing.
Beautiful willful ignorance here from Jim. And he reaches his hand through the paper to dip his donut in coffee, and then the two of them give Lady coffee and a donut for her breakfast as well.
I literally wrote "coffee for a dog?" ? In all caps because what the fuck are you
Do
doing?
it. Give him
Definitely
caffeine.
cannot give a dog coffee, no.
No, or a donut.
By the way, I just have to say behind the scenes here, Victoria took notes. I love that as we go along, you're checking off the notes.
Yeah. Listen, leave me alone.
The two of them, while enjoying their coffee and reading the paper, they talk about how Lady is 6 months now, and it's time they should get her a license. And no collar or license for 6 months?
I guess they probably wanted to wait until she was the size she would be, so they wouldn't have to like keep getting new ones.
That's why you get the adjustable one, though.
Well, this is like 1950 something.
Also, maybe they wanted to make sure sometimes a lot of puppies get like parvo and they like
Yeah, they
DIE.
like.
Oh, that's sad.
This is not modern times, Dan.
I'm aware. I'm very aware.
Yeah.
So they gift Lady a baby blue collar with a gold pendant. Every dog in this movie has the same pendant, but different color collar.
Yeah, I figured like that's just like
They have like
the
one-
license.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
issued.
they have like one guy who makes them.
They go to the
They're all
license guy, and he's, yeah. We then meet our next characters, Jock, a Scottish Terrier, and one of Lady's neighbors. Jock is voiced by Bill Thompson, and if his voice sounds familiar, it's because he's Mr. Smee and the White Rabbit. And in this film, Billy is more than pulling his weight. He does 6 different roles
Yeah,
in
we
this
were
one
talking
movie.
about that.
Really?
When we were watching it. Yeah, it's crazy.
We got Jock, and these are all characters that we're going to meet later on. He is Joe, who is Tony's assistant chef.
Okay.
He is Bull, the stray bulldog.
Okay.
Doxy, the stray dachshund that they also find.
Oh yeah.
The Irish policeman who at the zoo,
Oh yeah.
and one of Jim's friends at the house when.
But you know, I would be kind of annoyed like if I got hired to be like the security guard outside of the zoo because it's like
that's like one.
like 2 or 3 lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's so quick. So
Yeah.
like makes sense. Just use who you got.
There's a lot of different voice actors in this film who do a lot of different roles, which I
Yeah.
guess saves them money too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. Jock buries a bone himself hidden in the bushes, and we see that
But
he has
like a pile.
he's
of
got like
bones.
20 bones that
Yeah.
he buries. Yeah.
Where are they getting all these bones from?
I don't. They must just be. He must be saving them.
By the way, Jock and Trusty, who we're about to meet, never see their owners ever.
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we do see their houses, right? Do we see Jock's house?
I think we see. Well, there's one on
front porch.
Yeah, but like the wide shots, they're on either side of Lady's
Oh
house. So.
yeah, so
Oh, okay.
whatever. But like, yeah, it's actually crazy because like they're just allowed to willy nilly run all around town.
Yeah.
It seems, and also the bone digging thing is like to me very accurate dog behavior. Like the way they like guard stuff. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
My previous dog Shelby, I remember one of the first things she did when we brought her home. They gave her one of those begging strips.
Mm-hmm.
She grabbed it, went out into the yard, buried it in our flower beds, and then like a week later went back and dug it up.
And did she eat it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
And that's the one and only time she ever did that. I don't know if she thought she had to hide her food, and then she realized she doesn't have to do that here.
Yeah.
But she did that
Aw.
one time.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Aw.
Yeah. We then hear Lady speak for the first time in the film, and she shows off her collar and tag to Jock. Jock is quite proud of Lady receiving her badge of honor and says how they should go and show Trusty next. Trusty is Lady's neighbor on the other side of her house, and he is an older bloodhound.
He's so cute.
He is
Yeah.
cute. As he sleeps, Jock gives Lady and the audience his backstory. Trusty used to track criminals with his grandpappy, Old Reliable. But now, in his older age, he has lost his sense of smell.
Well, they say.
They say only thing, he's not aware of it, he doesn't think it, and his friends can't bear to break the news to him either.
Well, who the hell would want to tell someone that?
Yeah. Fun visual here, though. As he's dreaming and sniffing out the caterpillar that came down, the caterpillar is black and white, striped to make it look like he's wearing like a prison jumpsuit. So I thought that was kind of clever.
Yeah. I like Trusty because he kind of reminds me of like if Copper, like in The Fox and the Hound, was like old, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Trusty's nose eventually leads him to Jock and Lady, and he wakes up to greet them. Trusty immediately notices Lady's new collar and license, and the two dogs could not be sweeter to Lady, and they're so proud of her.
Miss Lady, ma'am.
They both call the collar the greatest honor a man can bestow on dog.
Yeah, they're very like pro man. They're pro owner.
They're proud to be man's best friend.
They're like, heck yeah. Solidarity.
Yeah.
Trusty then goes on a tangent about Old Reliable, but Jock cuts him off, saying that they've heard about Old Reliable before, which would become like a reoccurring joke in this film. Just then, Jim Deere can be heard whistling for Lady in the distance. Lady runs off to greet him, and I guess he's coming home from work, like in the middle of the day.
No, I think it's probably supposed to be that the whole day has gone by, but dogs have no sense of time, so...
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. Like, there's no sense of time in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also cool with Lady just, like, running out of the yard and down the street.
Willy-nilly,
Yeah.
just all over the place.
Yeah.
But I guess they figure, like, it's a nice, cute little safe neighborhood. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not like there were cars around to, like, hit them.
It's a nice neighborhood. They have the trees fenced up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Deere then challenges Lady to a race back to the house, which Lady wins pretty comfortably. Things are going quite well for Lady. She has two loving owners who adore her, and later by the fireside, Jim remarks, "You know, darling, with Lady here, I'd say life is quite complete." And then Darling responds with, "Yes, dear. I don't imagine anything could ever take her place in our hearts," as Lady falls asleep at their feet.
Which, like, I mean, in real...
That foreshadowing there.
Yeah, but in reality, like, yeah, that's true. Because, like, even when people have, like, I mean, most people. I want to say most people, because there are always people who, like, are really big assholes after they have a pet. Like, you see those stories online, like, after they have a baby. I would say that most people, like, even after you have a baby, like, the pet is still, like, your first baby. Like, you know, like, you... I don't know.
I know, I agree.
Fade to black and fade back up, and we are now at the nearby train yard, and in a barrel we see a mutt with no collar or tag sleeping peacefully. We'll find out later that he is a dog that goes by many names, but for the sake of the film and this review, we will call him Tramp. Tramp is voiced by Larry Roberts, and this is without a doubt his biggest role. He only ever appeared in 2 TV series for just an episode, and he was mostly a stage performer and comedian, but he didn't really do much after this.
Was he in, without giving me any spoilers, was he in the
I don't know if it was
No.
him that voiced it.
He wasn't in it, I can just tell you.
Okay.
He wasn't in
so
that.
they must have done
I mean, that sequel comes out
like a lot later.
like I think 2002, something like that.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, like a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. Tramp wakes up for the day and sets out on his own into town for breakfast.
I love his little shower with the dripping water.
That was a nice
like,
animation.
That's like one of my favorite scenes. I remember it vividly from when I was a kid. Like, I just love the way they drew it. I don't know.
Cute little nod to one of the storyboard artists here of the film. Joe Rinaldi is written on one of the windows as Tramp is walking by, like his kind of signature on the film.
Cool.
Yeah. Tramp weighs his options before settling on Tony's. He walks around to the back of the building where we hear Joe singing Bella Notte.
Okay, so that guy, to me, he looks like Captain Hook.
He does look like
He looks like an Italian
yeah.
Captain Hook. Like, I think that's hilarious.
I could see it.
Commodore Hook.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
He says, "Buongiorno, Butch. You wanted the breakfast, eh?"
Oh yeah, they call him Butch.
Yep.
Yeah, here, that's important to know. Here, he is known as Butch.
Yep.
So he gives Tramp some bones that his boss saved for him from the night before, and Tramp walks off on his way with his breakfast for the morning. And as he's chewing on the bone by a fence, he peeks through and sees that there is a dog catcher putting up signs around town, with the sign reading, "Warning, notice is hereby given that any unlicensed dog will be immediately impounded by order of city council."
And I also just thought it was really fascinating that Tramp can read.
Oh,
yeah, the
yeah.
animals can read. in this.
Which they also reference later in the movie. Like, they make it clear that they can in fact read, which
Yeah.
I think is very strange, but whatever.
Tramp then notices Bull, the bulldog that I mentioned before, and Peg, the Pekingese, in the back of the dog catcher's truck. Tramp then proceeds to release the two of them from the back, and they make their escape. Tramp distracts the dog catcher by biting his leg, and he chases Tramp all around town with his net before eventually losing him.
Mm-hmm.
Tramp then realizes that he is in the more, I guess you would say, like, sophisticated part of town, where there's nothing but leash dogs, and they even put fences around the trees, like I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what
Tramp's
this is
kind of like a troublemaker because I felt like he could have just let the two dogs out of like the back of the carriage and like
Not paying attention to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just.
Gotta do it with style.
couldn't help himself. He had to like get into a little tuffle.
Yep.
Back at,
He had to show the dog catcher up, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Like, he has to, like, taunt Hook when he beats him. Doesn't
Yeah.
just beat him.
Yep.
Back at Lady's home, Jock and Trusty are looking for her. They call out for her and search the yard and eventually find a sad lady laying down to herself. The other two dogs ask her what's wrong, and Lady says she must have done something wrong based on how Jim Deere and Darling have been reacting to her lately.
I know, so sad. But wait, there's the one thing with this scene. Go ahead.
You might say the same thing I have here. Go ahead.
So like, Darling comes to the window.
Yes.
And they are
I'm
like.
so glad you brought this up.
And they shut up, and then they like move to like behind the shed or something. And it kind of. Can they like speak English and they just don't want the people to know that?
Toya, we took notes at different times. I wrote the exact same thing. Is the implication here that they are speaking English?
Right.
And it's like Andy's toys and they don't want like to be discovered, so they like move somewhere to get away from Darling?
Yeah, like it was so weird. Did you notice that?
Because all this time I thought they were just like barking and they're like humans would just hear them barking to each other.
Yeah.
Like, but
I didn't think that. I thought they were probably just barking and they didn't want to get yelled at.
because
maybe.
because like you said, Darling comes to the window singing and they all stop what they're doing and look at her and they say, "Come on, let's go over here."
Yeah, like they move and then they're whispering.
I never really thought about that, but like that's what I wrote here too. Like, are they speaking English this whole time?
I mean, it could be just that they're barking and don't want to get yelled at, but I just thought it was like an interesting. Like I was like, can they like not only can they read?
I never thought. I didn't think of it.
Like they can read, but also if they can read, then that means that theoretically they can speak
That's
English
so
too.
funny.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you wrote
Weird.
that too.
I don't know. I just thought it was like a weird thing.
Huh. I never really thought of it.
Either way, the dogs gather and Lady tells the story. Yesterday, when Jim Deere came home and Lady ran out to greet him, he was far too preoccupied by something else and kind of just brushes past Lady.
Yeah, normally he does like a little trick with her with a treat on the...
Yeah.
And this time he's like, not now, Lady.
He was like, no, fuck off, get out of here.
Jim enters the house concerned, asking Darling if she's all right. Darling is much more relaxed and say, of course she is. And Jim continues and says that he can't help but worry about her in her current condition, home alone all day, walking that dog.
And I was like, I actually wrote that. I wrote, that dog!
And the phrase, that dog, stops Lady in her tracks. She has never been referred to as that dog by her owner.
I know. That's so sad.
That's so mean.
And also, like, walking is like she's fine.
I know. Yeah, but I guess back then.
Yeah,
no.
I can.
They
I
kind of,
didn't
they
know.
thought...
They didn't have.
He's a man. He doesn't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know. He was all panicked, and she's like, "Yeah, what are you talking about, bro? I'm fine."
Yeah.
Jock and Trusty try to comfort Lady and assure her that everything is okay. She then continues on with another story about her and Darling always enjoy their afternoon walk together, but yesterday, when she brought her leash into her, Darling told her that there was no walk today.
Yeah, she was knitting.
She's knitting in a chair.
With the ball.
I
She's
know.
knitting two very small pink like booties.
Yep.
And when the
So cute.
when the ball of yarn drops to the floor, Lady grabs it and is trying to play with Darling, running around. And Darling grows frustrated with Lady and yells at her and actually kind of like smacks her on the behind.
She spanks her.
Yeah.
And I wrote, who hits a dog? What the fuck? Like, seriously? That's so mean.
Yeah, and Lady's very taken back, and she says it didn't hurt, but Darling's never struck her before.
Yeah.
So sad.
Trusty and Jock have realized what's going on, and they inform Lady that her owners are expecting a new baby. And Lady is confused because she doesn't know what a baby is.
Well, okay, so here's my thing, too. I wrote this down. So dogs, like, notoriously can smell when people are pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, she would have known immediately something was up because Darling would have smelled different. Even if she didn't know what a baby was, she would have been like, oh, something's weird, you smell different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it annoys me that they didn't include that, but whatever.
But also, she could have been like, something's off. Like, she smells different and they're treating me different. Like,
Yeah.
As they're having this conversation, we see that Tramp is walking by, and he stops to hear their conversation.
Because he's just so nosy. He can't help it.
Jock and Trusty kind of poorly explain what a baby is, talking about how they crawl on all fours, are mighty expensive, but mighty sweet. Tramp
They're like,
then,
it's kind of like a person.
Yeah.
Tramp then interjects in the conversation and gives Lady what he believes to be a more accurate depiction. They scratch, pinch, pull ears, which any dog can take, but the real trouble is that they become home wreckers.
Yeah, see, I think that this is what happened to Tramp.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
As soon as that baby is born, if you start scratching, it's put that dog outside, he'll get fleas all over the baby.
Well, like, just give them... Well, they didn't have flea medicine back then, I guess.
Or how about this one? If they start barking, stop that racket, you'll wake the baby.
Well, babies are supposed to sleep with noise because they're just supposed to adjust to the noise within the house.
Yeah, you got an answer for everything. All
I'm
right.
just telling you.
Those juicy cuts of meat for dinner, forget that. It's now all leftover baby food.
Okay, well, that's weird. I wouldn't give my dog baby food. But also, why are you should not feed your dog just, like, meat like that.
Like a raw steak.
Yeah, like, that's not a suitable diet for a dog.
And finally, that cozy spot inside next to the fire. Now it's a leaky doghouse outside in the cold rain.
Yeah, see, that's fucked up because, like...
Fix the house, damn it.
Like, what? Yeah, and, like, also, like, why... What, the baby's sleeping next to the fire? No. Like,
Yeah.
just let the dog sleep next to the fire.
I know.
Put the baby in the doghouse. Jock and Trusty dismiss Tramp's warnings and say that no man is that mean to man's best friend, to which a pessimistic Tramp laughs at. The two dogs shoo Tramp away, but Tramp tells Lady before he leaves, one last warning, remember this, pigeon. A human heart has only so much room for love and affection. When a baby moves in, the dog moves out.
I love that he calls her pigeon.
I know.
But also, you didn't really reference why. It's because in the beginning, when he gets to that neighborhood, he sees two pigeons. And they're drinking water. And he's like, hey, pigeons, like, how's pickins? And then they fly away. So, like, to him, like, it's like a little...
Yeah, and he does call her, like, Pidge.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, well, I never made that connection, but yeah, Tramp only refers to Lady as pigeon, pidge, or sometimes kid. That's it in this movie. But yeah, I never made that connection. Wow.
Yeah, like, you know. But this is, like, a very clear, like, socioeconomic kind of, like, talk, right? Because, like, clearly Tramp came from a home. And clearly he, like, had a traumatic experience in said home, but he probably didn't come from, like, an upper middle class home, which I think is, like, what Lady is supposed to be in. So, like, whatever happened in the home that he was in, it was probably, like, a lower economy home. So they couldn't, like, afford to have the dog and the kid or, like, something like that. And so, or, like, he had just had, like, poor as in, like, shitty owners. And, like, whatever circumstance happened, he just applies that to everything in life because he doesn't have the experience. And I don't know.
No, I love that. That's great, like, context for the way that he is. Yeah.
I mean, I don't. There's no way to prove it. But.
Yeah,
It sounds pretty
it's
accurate,
the theory, like, lines up, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he is, like, familiar with how to behave, like, properly around, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, in a home.
Yeah, he's not like a truly feral dog. Like, he knows what the things to do are. He just doesn't want it.
On the flip side, by the way, Lady never refers to Tramp by his name, as we don't know his real name, but only other dogs refer to him as Tramp. She never refers to him as Tramp either.
They all have nicknames for each other. Sometimes it was hard for me to keep up because I was like, they all call each other something different.
Inside, Jim marks April as the expected time for the baby to arrive, the whole month of April.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know how shit works.
We fast forward to a day in the winter, and this is pretty funny. Jim Deere is in his pajamas in the middle of the night, and despite it being snowy and really late and just horrible outside, he's going out to get his wife some watermelon and chop suey to satisfy her cravings.
Which annoyed me, too, only because, like...
What's open at this hour?
Yeah,
Brother,
especially...
this is 1950. There ain't no way you were finding watermelon and chop suey at this hour.
Like in the middle of January. Like, I'm sorry, you're not. You're just not. You're not. You'd be hard pressed to find that now.
Yeah,
honestly, like,
it's true. Like,
What an interesting pairing to watermelon and chop suey.
well, pregnancy cravings are weird.
Yeah. On our next fast forward, this takes us to the baby shower. In one room, you have all the women gathered, and they're all excited, celebrating with all.
There.
Yeah, and in the next room, you have all the men jesting with Jim, talking about how terrible he looks, and women be shopping, and his life is over, basically.
Yeah, that's so lame, honestly.
We then move forward to April, and it's baby time. Darling delivers her baby at home with the help of a doctor.
Well, because that's what they did back in the day.
Jim Deere is on the phone with Aunt Sarah, frantically delivering the wonderful news.
Is she the only family member? Do we
As far as
only
we
have
know
an
of.
Aunt Sarah?
Yeah,
I would imagine.
No parents?
that sucks.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
He even informs the doctor that it's a boy after the doctor just delivered
He's
the
like,
baby.
I know. He also delivers the baby and then like is
Bounces.
like, all right, I'm gonna go now.
There's nothing to delivering a baby.
I'll send a bill.
Yeah, that's what they say anyway. Jim Deere is quite excited it's a boy. Like,
Yeah, if it was a girl.
yeah.
On another morning, we hear a baby crying from a room upstairs. Lady is downstairs.
Did you notice
And
the
still
bottles
confused.
on the windowsill?
Yeah, so those supposed to be like baby bottles. They look like
Yeah.
beakers, like science beakers.
Because they are.
Okay.
Because, like, back then, they didn't have the standardized baby bottles that they have now.
I didn't notice them. I want to go back and look.
Yeah, you should. And they have, like, a really long, like, nipple thing. Because, like, they didn't... You know how bottles work now. Like, they didn't have, like, the suction, like, mechanism that they have. Like, it was just very different.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Which actually is it's weird it's weird at all that they had bottles because she probably would have breastfed the baby, but whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe she couldn't. Who can say?
Lady is downstairs and confused by all the noise upstairs. And we hear her inner monologue sing our next song, What is a Baby? It's from the perspective of Lady wondering what is a baby and why has it caused Jim Deere and Darling to ignore her. Either way, she must find out today what is a baby. So, as she is singing the song, Lady carefully makes her way up the stairs and eases into the nursery to find Darling next to the baby in the crib. And she's singing to him, calling her baby my little star sweeper.
I love that song. It's so cute.
Yeah. Lady carefully approaches the crib and hops up on two legs to look inside. Jim Deere comes back into the room and pets Lady on the head.
I was so
Flinches.
nervous
Yeah.
for this scene because I was like, are they going to be nice to her? Or are they going to be an asshole?
Imagine
And-
if
Like,
they
get
were-
away from the baby.
And the three of them lovingly look down at the new addition to their family. Lady wags her tail, feeling much safer and better about the baby now. I told Toya this already. I think this is my favorite scene from the whole film.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really gets discussed a whole lot when people think of Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
First off is when Lady is singing What is a Baby. It's really well done because her voice is like echoing and it almost sounds like haunting when she's singing it.
Yeah.
And she's going up these like dark stairs, because they're all in the nursery. That's primarily where they are. So the rest of the house is kind of cold, abandoned, and just dark. So there's a little bit of like a nervous feeling about her wondering what is a baby.
Well, that's why I was like nervous for her.
Yeah.
And the audience feels it as well, but she's being brave enough to go up the stairs and inspect what's going on. Even the colors of the hallway.
Yeah, like they're very like muted.
Yeah, but when she peeks her head into the nursery and walks in, the mood changes completely.
It's all
Yeah,
like
it's all-
bright.
You see the
cheery.
bright yellow light shining into the nursery, and the singing then transitions over to Darling, who is singing this very comforting song to her baby, but kind of to Lady and the audience as well, to kind
Yeah.
of reassure them that like they're like safe, basically.
Yeah.
And like we're watching this through the perspective of the dog, right? So up until now you're watching thinking, oh no, like is Lady gonna be pushed aside by Jim and Darling because that's what Lady's feeling.
Yeah.
Up until now.
Yeah.
And then that quickly changes into everything being all right, and they're not replacing her. Their family is just growing.
Right. So, like, here was my question. Have they literally been ignoring Lady for 9 months?
That's what I thought too, because I was like, now all of a sudden that the baby's born, you're like, okay to pet her.
I know. Like, I just was, like, I know... maybe we're supposed to feel that way because it was just, like, an overarching feeling of, like, things being off and different for her for the whole time that Darling was pregnant. But it just, like, kind of felt like... Were they literally just, like, doing the bare minimum for this dog the entire time that they were pregnant?
Which is weird because you would think, like, you have the time now to, like, take care of the dog and bond with the dog.
Yeah.
I would understand not being able to do that once the baby's born.
Yeah.
And maybe just through Lady's perspective, things have changed over these 9 months. You know what I mean? She's not the center of their attention anymore. And this, like, like I feel like this is the moment where all of her fears kind of subside.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I just felt like it was weird. Like, I just would be curious, like, how... I mean, I guess we kind of get the answer with, like, how they portray the 9 months leading up to the baby being born, but I don't know. I thought it was weird.
Even just, like, the little things, like we mentioned, like Jim reaching for a lady's head.
And she flinches,
She
which
doesn't
kind
know.
of... Yeah, but that kind of implies to me that he's been hitting her.
You know what I just realized, too? When Jim Deere went out, backtracking back to when she was pregnant, and went out in the middle of the night to go get watermelon, lady was sleeping in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another
She
thing,
wasn't
too.
in the bed anymore.
Yeah.
She's back downstairs in the kitchen. And then just, like, the cherry on top is her little tail wagging at the end. Like, I just thought,
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
this
so
scene.
cute. And she's so sweet with the baby.
Yeah.
A lot of jumping around in this film. So fast forward to another day. Jim Deere and Darling are going away for a brief trip.
Where the fuck are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Who goes on a trip right after having a baby? I just need to understand. Sorry, Bella. I just set the dog off upstairs. Like,
Well, someone might be walking by.
it was probably me. She doesn't like me.
Well, I mean, they gotta live too. I mean, just because they have a baby.
It's not like there's like, I don't know. They were going to catch a train somewhere, so they were going far away.
Yeah, like, where are you going?
They pack
And
their
also,
bags.
why couldn't you just bring the baby with you?
Because he was too little.
Well, then you shouldn't be traveling.
I agree,
Especially at this day, in that day and age.
I know. Well, I think it's weird that they were traveling at that time. Like, nowadays I would understand it more.
Because, like, maybe Jim, because we don't know what he does for work.
Yeah, like, maybe.
But why did Darling have to go, too?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Darling's a little nervous about leaving the baby, but Jim Deere assures her everything will be all right because Aunt Sarah is watching the baby.
And
while
I
they're
guess
gone.
Aunt Sarah is his aunt.
Aunt Sarah is Jim Deere's aunt.
Yeah, because you can kind of tell.
She's a bit overbearing and clearly isn't a dog person.
She's a bitch. I wrote Aunt Sarah is a bitch.
And yeah, we mentioned this before, but her face is clearly seen throughout the film. This is the first human that we really see. While Aunt Sarah goes upstairs to tend to the baby, she is joined by Lady, but Aunt Sarah shoos Lady out of the room thinking that she will scare the baby.
Okay, so but here's the problem though. That baby was sleeping. Aunt Sarah went up there like an asshole and just woke up the baby. What are you doing? What? Because you want to see the baby? Let the baby sleep. What are you doing?
I also find it weird that Jim and Darling didn't, like, give her any instructions, like, this is when you feed Lady, this is when you feed the baby. Like, they just were like, hi, bye. I feel like they were leaving before Aunt Sarah even was there.
know.
Yeah, they were ready to walk out the door, and then Aunt Sarah happened to knock on the door.
I wrote down, note to self, do not leave baby with Aunt Sarah because she clearly, like, she strikes me as someone who, like, did not have children. So, like, just the way she was, like,
But she had 2
handling...
cats.
Yeah. Well, no, because of the way she was handling the baby, it just kind of gave, like, weird aunt that, like, doesn't have... I mean, not that it's weird to not have children, but, like, aunt that doesn't have experience with babies. That's how it kind of came across to me.
Downstairs, out of Aunt Sarah's bag, emerges 2 Siamese cats named Cy and Am. And
This is very, like...
It would not be a Disney movie from the 50s without an outdated
To me, this
depiction.
is, like, very racist, but also, like, it's like, I don't know how to explain why it's racist, but it just is to me.
It's one of those things where, like, you just look at it and you know you couldn't do this today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have a disclaimer in the beginning of this movie?
No. So Cy and Am, they sing our next song, which is the Siamese cat song, and I'll just put it this way: picture in your head a poor taste Asian song. That's basically what you got here.
Yeah,
as far as
very
the music.
stereotypical.
Yeah, but the 2 basically sing about the mischief that they're going to cause here in their new house, much to Lady's anger. First, they try to climb up and get a bird out of the bird cage in the house.
Did they get the bird?
You know, I'm not really sure
Because I didn't see a bird in that cage.
Yeah, I think the bird might have been a goner.
I think so, because I think one of them does grab a bird at one point, so I think they did eat the bird.
So my problem is, like, why do these people have so many pets?
Yeah.
Bird, fish, dog,
Yep.
all the things,
And then...
and a baby. Like, who's taking care of all these pets?
I know.
Next, they knock over a vase on the piano, and they climb up on the china cabinet, and the 2 spot a goldfish swimming in a
It's
bowl.
actually not a goldfish, it's an angelfish.
Oh, an angelfish. Okay.
Sorry, just it's,
No, I appreciate that correction.
it's not a big deal, but that angelfish shouldn't be living in that.
We
We used to
strive.
have an angelfish.
We strive for accuracy here, so I appreciate that. The two agreed to get the angelfish, and a head for you and a tail for me.
Yeah, which is. Ugh.
they
I literally wrote down these cats are assholes.
they really are. They give a pretty bad name to cats
They
everywhere.
do.
They then tug on the table runner and they try to pull down the angelfish in its bowl. But Lady stops them by pulling on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually the cats let go, causing the bowl to spill all over Lady.
She's chasing this fish around on the floor.
She saves the fish.
At least the fish. I was going to be so upset if that fish died
Yeah.
because I was like, how are they going to save the fish now? Because
She did. She got it.
She saves the fish, puts it back in the bowl. But as she's doing that, the cats here... Sorry, Malachi's sitting at the table. I feel like he's judging me for shitting on cats right now. He's like, what do you got to say?
he's like, yeah,
No, delete that. Delete that.
you can sit right there, Malachi.
So as she's doing that, the cats hear a crying baby and know that this means that there is milk nearby. Lady gets in front of them on the stairs and growls at them. The cats take a swipe at Lady, but miss, and Lady chases them back downstairs barking while the cats meow and screech. And the cats tear down the window curtains, they destroy the room.
They just totally are
They're
awful.
giving cats a bad name.
They are. But you know what? That's a common thing I feel in Disney movies. Walt didn't like cats, did he?
No, he really didn't. The cats are always the assholes in all
Right?
these films.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, okay, like, yeah, cats have attitudes a lot of the time. Like, they can be assholes, but, like, they're just different than dogs.
You've already gotten Lucifer at this point.
I know!
I think Figaro might be the only cat who is not bad,
yeah.
but even then...
Or, like, the Aristocat.
I was going to
Yeah.
say, what about, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, like, all the other cats, like the alley cats.
Yeah. That whole movie is about cats. It wasn't a matter of them being cats. It was just their character.
Yeah.
But
So they destroy the room completely, and Lady falls and crashes into a table.
Poor thing.
And
She's just trying to, like, save everything. She's like, oh no, there's, like, no order in this room
I
anymore.
would just, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, but, like, sometimes, okay, with Sebastian and Apollo will be doing something, like, bad that he's not supposed to do, and Sebastian will be sitting here, like, looking at us like, he's not supposed to do that.
Yeah,
And I'm
Kobe
like,
does
rules.
that.
yeah.
Kobe does that with Malachi. Like, Malachi will, like, start swiping something.
Yeah.
And then Kobe's, like, looking at Malachi, then looks at me, looking at Malachi. He's like, Mom, are you going to do
I
something?
know, like, it's so, like, bad.
But if I was Lady, I would be like, you know what, I'm just going to go outside with all my friends all day. These cats can cause a ruckus.
But she didn't know. She's such a good dog.
I know.
Aunt Sarah comes downstairs to see what all the noise is, and
Fucking Aunt Sarah.
she finds her two cats writhing in pain, hamming it up.
Oh, my God.
That's like Cleo with the paw.
I cannot.
They make it look like this was all Lady's fault, and Aunt Sarah picks up her cats to bring them to the nursery.
My poor babies.
And then Aunt Sarah brings Lady to a pet store, and she's like, I want a muzzle, a good muzzle. And the guy's like, oh, yes, we got the strongest and finest muzzle that you can ever find.
I literally wrote down, yo, if someone watching my pet put a fucking muzzle on them or did anything like that, I'd literally lose my shit. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what the fuck?
I agree.
As the store owner and Sarah tried to put a muzzle on Lady, and a leash as well, they manage to get the muzzle on, but Lady breaks free for them and flees the pet store, running away from Aunt Sarah with the muzzle.
Imagine having to explain to Jim Deere and Darling, yeah, so I tried to bring your dog to the store and put a muzzle on her and she ran away.
Yeah, I wonder how much Aunt Sarah told Jim Deere and Darling about all this. Like, or
Yeah.
she just never spoke a word about it.
I don't know.
So she runs out into, Lady runs out into the busy street, dodging cars and horse and buggies before running down an alley. And while running through the alley, she attracts the attention of 3 street dogs who chase after her.
Why are they chasing her? What are they gonna do?
I don't know.
And why are there so many stray
thought
dogs
that they
in
were.
this town?
This is how I took it. I thought they were gonna RAPE her.
I thought
Oh.
just kill, like
Okay.
bite her.
I took it as like, oh, look at this pretty lady walking down the street, running
Ooh.
away, like she's vulnerable. Let's get her.
Oh.
Well,
That's
luckily,
dark. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but they're... Ooh.
luckily Tramp hears all the noise and chases after them to save Lady. And Tramp is pretty brave here. He is outnumbered 3-1, but he stands his ground and fights off all 3 dogs biting them.
And those dogs are pretty big.
They were
like,
yeah. His back is to the wall, and he fights all 3 of them off.
Yeah.
Tramp then goes to check on Lady and discovers that she has a muzzle trapped on her, and he thinks he knows where he can find somebody to get the muzzle off.
Why are there so many stray dogs in this town?
Right.
Why? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, they're running around everywhere.
But I also think that because like that guy was making the posting the notice about, you know, the city council says you have to be licensed. Mm-hmm. Maybe they're like trying to control the stray population.
Clearly there's a stray dog population problem going on.
Right, but why?
I don't think that people are dumping them. When did The Price is Right come out? When did Bob Barker start telling people to spend?
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
This is pre-Bob Barker.
Well, I don't know. He might have been. He was pretty old, so.
Good point, Hillary. So Tramp's idea is he's going to bring Lady to the zoo. Outside the front gate is a police officer.
Just monitoring the entrance to the zoo.
I guess the zoo employs the police to guard the zoo. I'm not really sure, but outside the entrance there's a sign that reads "No dogs allowed." But Tramp assures...
Which is so bizarre to me because there's so many other animals
I
there.
know. Well, they don't want them to rile them up. That's what it is.
Oh, I guess.
So Tramp's plan to get inside. He spots a man leaving the zoo. So he sneaks up behind the police officer and mimics whistling.
Yeah, this was the weirdest plan. I couldn't follow. Like, who comes up with this plan?
So
It made no
Dog.
sense.
I mean, it worked.
It did work. I mean, so the mimicked whistling is supposed to be from the pretend owner.
Yeah.
Calling his dog. So the police officer berates the man for bringing his dog into the zoo, and the man has no idea what he's talking about.
So, like, Tramp whistles.
Yeah, but there were so many better options.
I mean, yeah, but this made a funny
Honestly,
scene.
they could have just
He could have
went
just
through the
snuck in
gate.
because he was the security officer was going back and forth. So just when he was going the other way with his back towards him,
Not only that, it's like the barred gate. They could have fit right through.
yeah,
I know. Well, listen.
But that wouldn't have been funny.
Nope.
So you got this incredibly Irish police officer berating this man. He's like thinking that he's calling him like a liar, and Tramp starts tugging on his
He
owner's
looks like
coat.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
The guard,
Yeah.
he's got like the incredibly Irish.
He was round.
Oh, I'd be a liar, eh? Like fighting
That
the
was
guy.
also very stereotypical. They had a lot of stereotypes in this movie.
So Tramp starts tugging on his owner's coat, and the police officer thinks he's resisting arrest. Get him.
Tramp literally jumped into his arms.
I know.
So the police officer and the man, they're fighting each other. This man is fighting a police officer with his umbrella.
This is just this poor guy.
And then Tramp,
Yeah, dropped all his books.
Yep.
Tramp bites the police officer. The police officer goes, "Oh, you'd be pulling a knife on me, eh? Trying to assassinate a police officer."
This guy's life is ruined all because of Tramp.
So
He's an asshole.
Yeah.
while the two fight, Tramp and Lady just sneak into the zoo.
Yeah.
Inside, they look for an animal that can maybe help them. And they try an alligator first, who
Yeah.
offers to take the cage off the head.
Well, actually, they say apes, and then Tramp says, "No, they're too stupid. They're too closely
They started
related to
alphabetically.
humans."
Hey, fuck you, man. How about
Yeah.
that?
I was like, "Wow, okay." I mean, a human put the muzzle on her in the first place. but
Yeah,
whatever.
how stupid are we? The alligator offers to take the cage off the head, but his method is to open up wide and to bite her head off and take the head with the cage, I guess. And Tramp saves Lady's life.
Yeah, she's a little naive there. She's like, "Oh yeah, sure."
And then next they try Beaver, who is chopping wood with his teeth.
Why did the zoo give the beaver full giant trees in his enclosure?
The tree falls and like ruins
Was he
his
even
enclosure.
in an enclosure?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the tree falls and it just takes out the gate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you not give him, like, no trees in his enclosure, but give him, like, smaller cuts of wood so that he could chew on them? But no,
Listen.
let's just plant these giant trees, and he'll knock
This
them down.
zoo was not like
This is a poorly run zoo.
yeah, because they have like the lions are in the smallest cage. They're not like free to roam. The hyenas were like
Yeah, but
like,
the beaver gets the big enclosure.
Yeah, go figure.
The police officers committing police brutality on guests, just beating them up.
Yeah.
It's, so Tramp takes the lead and tells the beaver that what he could really use is his tree chomping. For his tree chomping is a log puller. The contraption on Lady's head is exactly what he needs, and they convince the beaver to bite through the strap to free Lady, and it works. The beaver wants to try it out, though, and see if it will get the job done. He tugs on a branch with the handle wrapped...
No, he tugs on the tree. It's not just a branch.
Okay, yeah, it's a full-on tree. He tugs on the tree with the handle from the leash, and it causes him and the log to go flying through the air into the water down below where he's trying to make a dam.
It went exactly where he wanted it to be.
It fell right into place. It works.
Yep.
It's like, thanks, it works.
He was really, he was throwing some, math statistics out there, too. Like, do you know every 5 seconds, blah, 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 amount of water? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you really know your stuff, beaver.
Yeah.
Later that night, the two dogs are walking around town, and Lady inquires about Tramp's family, and Tramp tells Lady that he has a different family for every day. Tramp tells Lady that he has a different family for every day. He has them, but none of them have him.
Which is so, all right.
And this part is, the true basis of the Happy Dan story that we talked about. He shows Lady that first there is the Schultzes, and this is his Monday home, where he is known as Little Fritzy.
They're German.
Yeah, Mama Schultz cooks him Wiener Schnitzel for dinner.
Yep.
On Tuesday, he goes to the O'Briens, where he is known as Little Mikey.
Little Mike.
And he is given corned beef there. He explains to Lady that he has no owner. He goes wherever he pleases.
Right.
The two then make their way into town, where Tramp gets the idea for them to go to Tony's for dinner.
Heck yeah, why wouldn't they?
They go around the back, and Tony himself is in tonight, cooking in the kitchen. He happily greets Butch and tells Joe to bring some bones for Butchie.
Is Butch a Italian,
I don't know.
nickname?
You had an Uncle Butch?
Yeah, his nickname was Butch because his dad was a butcher. So
It was
same reason for Uncle
originated from the word butcher.
Yeah.
Likely used as a nickname for individuals in the butchering trade.
Mm-hmm.
Some theories suggest the name could be related to the Old English word buck, meaning he-goat or stag, or that it might be a shortened form of names like Burchard or Bertram.
I'm gonna go with the butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tramp then brings Tony around to introduce Lady, and Tony says, "Hey Joe, look at Butchie. He got himself a new girlfriend."
A Spanish girl.
Take note of the phrasing. He says a new girlfriend, which will be important later.
He's got. He gets around.
And Tony gives Butch the advice to settle down with this one.
He knows that Lady's his dream girl.
Yeah. You like his little giggling that he does? Lady notices that Tony said this one, but Tramp brushes it off, his English not being his first language. Tony then brings out a tiny table for the two of them and sets it with a candle and a bread basket.
I want to know who's manning the restaurant while these two are dicking around with the dogs.
No, they're
and
just
that.
in the kitchen. It's fine. And it was so sweet. I was like, this is how all animals should be treated.
I mean,
that was so sweet.
The
I
waiter,
agree,
the waiter
but-
comes out. I'm sorry if food's taking a little long. Our chef is feeding the dogs up. It'll just be a couple more minutes. So Joe brings out a basket of bones, and Tony gets angry. Bones? What's the matter with you? Breaking your face. Bring out the gabagool.
Why are you like furthering the Italian stereotype over here?
It's alright. It's okay.
They don't know that listening to this.
For context, we're Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
See, now
all
we're good.
are.
But it's not gabagool, though. It's Tony brings out a special spaghetti dinner with meatballs.
Spaghetti and a meatball.
Oh, now look at you doing it.
It's
I break at your face.
Wow, okay.
Tony brings them their food and grabs his accordion to serenade the pups.
Can dogs eat spaghetti? I didn't look this up, but I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't think dogs are supposed to eat literally any of the thing that they eat.
Probably
They can
not.
eat bones, which, sorry to go back,
raw
but...
bones they can.
Oh, they can? Because at one point, I think it was Lady, she was literally like eating a bone in the backyard, like biting it, and like pieces were coming off, and she was eating
Dogs can eat raw bones. A lot of it's like good for their teeth, but they can't eat cooked bones, and the reason is because they splinter and can like give them like intestinal bleeding.
Oh.
Yeah, so like a raw bone, but like it's really not suggested. But if you're gonna give a dog a bone, it's gotta be raw.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
don't know, Hazel's just out there eating mulch and rocks and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
She does that. She eats rocks.
She's
like big
special.
big rocks. Like I don't.
Boulders.
Well, like rocks that don't look that big.
Like the sides of cliffs.
It's not not like a pebble. You know what I mean?
Boulders.
Yeah, she chomps the boulders. They have boulders in their yard.
In my backyard, yeah.
Mount Everest back there.
That's a nice boulder.
Malachi's so happy.
He is really happy.
He's
I'm
so
happy for
happy.
him. I'm happy that he's happy. So this is arguably the film's most famous scene. The two dogs slurp up spaghetti. Slurp up spaghetti. Slurp up spaghetti as Tony and Joe sing Bellinate again.
Yeah.
With
all the clothes hanging on the line.
Yeah.
People drying their clothes.
Yeah.
As the two are serenaded, we get the very famous scene where they each grab an end of the same strand of spaghetti and slurp it up at the same time before they accidentally meet mouths, and they share a kiss together. Mwah. You didn't like that.
He's like, don't ever try that again.
We're just friends. They pull away slightly embarrassed before Tramp nudges a meatball towards Lady with his nose.
Which he should, because she should be able to eat the last meatball. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I agree.
And we see the two dogs fall in love with each other.
Oh.
Just like that. That's how it works.
Yep.
It's a very romantic setting, Hillary.
Listen, I guess then the mood's right.
If you were on a date and your date nudged a meatball with his nose,
Well, she wouldn't react well because she's a vegetarian.
Yeah, I'd be like, get
You
that
know
shit out of
me.
here.
Yeah, she'd be like, I don't want to eat that meatball.
Interesting to note here, despite this being the film's most famous scene, it almost didn't exist. Walt originally did not want to include this in the movie.
Why?
He thought that it would not be romantic and would look silly to have dogs eating spaghetti. What changed...
Wait, can they eat it? Did you look it up?
I didn't look it up.
Oh, I'll look
Which, when you say it like that, fair. What changed his mind, though, was animator Frank Thomas. He disagreed with Walt and decided to animate the entire scene himself without any layouts. And when he showed it to Walt, Walt was so impressed by his work and how he managed to make the scene romantic that he was convinced to keep it in.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta see it, you know?
So,
Visual is better.
plain pasta is totally fine. It's the sauce that's the problem.
Does it say why?
Yeah, many pasta sauces contain ingredients like onions, garlic, and excessive amounts of salt and sugar, which are toxic and unhealthy for dogs.
Yeah, there you go.
What about gravy, though?
It's sauce, Dan.
I actually agree with you. It's her that...
It's gravy, but whatever.
I agree
Well,
with
then what's
sauce.
the brown stuff on Thanksgiving?
Brown gravy.
No. There are many Italians are divided on it on
Yeah.
that. Like
There's
there
a big
are
bone
a
of
lot.
contention in the Italian community.
Yeah,
There
like
is.
Italians think it's gravy and some Italians think it's sauce. It's
Yeah.
not like all
I
Italians.
mean, I do
think.
feel like in Italy, they probably just call it sauce.
Yeah.
But whatever.
When the song concludes, we see the two pups share a night together walking around town.
It's so cute.
Yeah, they put their paw prints in a heart on drying cement. I looked up what the initials.
Thank you, because that was my question. Who is JM and EB?
I couldn't find anything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know who JM and... What was it? JM and E...
EB.
I'll look it up right now. Maybe JM and EB?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's already a search.
Jim and Elizabeth Brown. Jim Brown and Elizabeth Brown.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, the original names of the owners. Jim
Well, but
and Elizabeth Brown.
Yeah, but JM.
I guess Jim, JM,
That's stupid.
and Elizabeth, I don't think can be just two letters, so EB for Elizabeth. So there you go. How about that?
That's cute.
I kept thinking it was like an animator. It was somebody who worked on the film.
Yeah, I thought it was like maybe like someone like with their
I was
wife
like running
or
through
something.
the people who worked on this film, and I'm like, none of them have JM or EB though. But there you go, Jim and Elizabeth.
Cute.
Yeah. They wander through a park together and enjoy the picturesque moonlight over the town with the other couples.
I think that's really cute. I like that scene where like with
Yeah.
all the with the make out point, you know.
Make out point, yeah.
But it's done in a classy way. No one's seemingly making out.
Just all implication here. We know what's going on.
I think they're just enjoying a romantic evening watching.
It reminded
the
me
moon.
of like, I don't think this was a scene in Grease, but it reminded me of Grease.
Well, there was a make out point scene in Grease. It
Was
just
there?
wasn't romantic.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it was with Rizzo and Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it reminded me of Grease.
Yeah.
They didn't share spaghetti before this. That's the
No,
problem.
They didn't, but, they did have a broken condom, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So the two dogs sleep through the night together, and
I wrote
they
down-
don't sleep together, but yeah.
Well, you don't know that.
No, you
I
don't
wrote down, ooh, lady is a hoe, scandal.
It was the Tramp now, right?
Yeah.
The next morning, Lady realizes she has to return home. Tramp makes a pitch to stay with him and not return home and see what a dog's life can really be.
Yeah, he's like, look out, see what there is. And she's like, damn, houses, fences, And he's like, no, look further.
She's like, damn, this really do be a nice town.
Yeah. But then he's like, there's like hills and valleys and shit. And I'm like, nah, you're just gonna die.
Yeah, like, I don't want to go out there. I see security and protection and
Yeah.
a guaranteed meal.
Yeah.
You see the
in these
police guard
homes.
at the zoo?
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Lady remarks on how it sounds wonderful, but who would watch over the baby? Which is actually kind of sweet.
Because Aunt Sarah is not doing a good job. Do you think Lady thinks that Jim Deere and Darling just left? Like, bounced up out of there, and Aunt Sarah's taking care of them now?
There is that scene when they leave where she stops them and she looks all angry at them on the stairs, thinking that they're, like, running out on the baby.
Right, but then they tell her, but do you think maybe she just, like, doesn't believe them? Like, maybe she's like, I have to watch the baby now because Aunt Sarah sucks. Like,
yeah, I think it's clear that at this point, it's actually kind of sweet. Lady thinks her responsibility is to keep the baby safe.
Yeah. Aw.
Tramp realizes that he has no retort, so he...
Yeah, like, what's he gonna say?
Yeah, so he offers to take Lady back home.
What a gentleman.
He's like, all right, at least I got a one-night stand out of this.
Yep.
Yeah, no walk of shame for Lady. That sounds... Well, it's with Tramp, at least, so...
What do you mean at least? Like, is that supposed to be good? Like, is that like a plus?
It's not a walk of shame alone, I guess.
Yeah, like, I'd rather a guy drive me home the next morning than me have to go home by myself.
That's true, I guess.
On their walk home...
Noted Hills.
On their walk home, they come across a chicken coop.
Yeah, why does he want to chase the chickens?
Because he's an asshole.
Mean.
I'm telling you right now, Tramp is a jerk.
This is so mean. Like, he just wants to fuck with the chickens just to fuck with them.
I know. He, like, peeks and he's like, look at all of them sleeping.
Yeah, he's
so
like, these fat
quietly."
hens. And I'm
He
like,
calls them
wow.
fat, lazy biddies.
I know. I'm like, what do you mean they're laying eggs? What do you mean?
So, Tramp chases them all around the
He
yard.
convinces Lady, too. And she's like, we're not going to hurt them, right?
He's
And-
like, nah, we're just gonna mess with them.
yeah.
Lady's more running with the chickens than chasing them. She's a
No,
little
because somebody
startled.
then shot a gun.
Yeah, the farmer comes out, and his solution is he just starts shooting his shotgun.
Well, it's probably because a lot of, like, with chickens, like, foxes like to get them and eat them.
Yeah.
So he probably thinks they're foxes or something.
Well, his shooting puts a giant hole in the fence, which allows the two dogs to escape.
Probably the chickens, too.
Probably the chickens, too. They're
Yeah.
probably running around town along with all these stray dogs.
It's going to end really well.
Oh no.
The pair escape with Tramp leading the way. They run through the back alleys, but in the process, Lady gets snagged by the dog catcher without Tramp realizing initially.
Ugh, yeah, because he's only worried about himself.
Because he's a jerk.
The dog catcher brings Lady to the dog pound, and
This is the saddest scene ever.
Inside the dog hound, we see images.
The dog what?
The dog pound, not the dog hound. We see images of sad dogs trapped behind bars, howling and singing. I mean, they take liberties with this. You literally have dogs crying.
I literally was sobbing.
Their eyes were like
like
the true puppy dog eyes.
It literally
with
looked like
tears welled in
an
them.
ASPCA commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was literally sitting there, literally sobbing. Like, are you kidding?
I know, it was really sad.
And the shadows on the animals, like from the bars, it looks like a prison outfit.
They were in prison. Yeah. And then the little wiener dog is trying to dig his way out.
Yeah.
We get Peg and Bull. They're here, so they've been caught again. And they're joined by other dogs, including Boris, the Russian wolfhound that we briefly talked about earlier. Pedro is a Mexican Chihuahua.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
I know, like, why did they have to give him the accent and stuff? I don't know.
And the dogs all howl together, not only to sing their sorrows, but they're providing a cover-up while Doxy, the dachshund, is trying to dig a way out for them to escape. He didn't like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Their singing is interrupted by the dog catcher. We learn his name is Bill.
Fucking Bill.
Bill the dog catcher enters the room with Lady. He puts Lady in the same cell as Bull and Peg and everybody else. They tease her for being high class and having a collar.
It's not her fault.
Which, by the way, I'm sorry. Did this movie change? Because I could have swore that at one point she lost her collar. Or what movie is it where the dog loses its collar and then the owners come back from vacation and then find their dog in the pound? Because there is a movie where...
Hold on, you gotta let me think.
It's not Oliver and Company, is it? Or
Because I was just waiting this whole time for Lady to lose her collar.
101 Dalmatians? Does that happen at any point?
No.
It might not be Disney, but it's definitely an animated film.
Like, it sounds familiar, but I don't know. Being Mandela'd.
Yeah, it was a truly like a Mandela effect because I could have sworn that happened.
Hold on.
Well, they tease her for her collar and her tags, and Peg and Boris tell them to stop, and they kind of come to her defense. They comfort her and tell her that she's going to be just fine since she has the license, and without a license, we see poor Nutsy taking the long walk here, which they didn't have to do this. They showed like the silhouette, the shadow.
I know.
And Nutsy's like wagging his tail, has no clue what's coming.
I know, it's terrible. No,
Yeah.
I literally sobbed.
Oh, I took it as like they called him Nutsy because he was like nuts and like always going crazy. And then the way that to make me feel better, I go, maybe he has rabies and that, you know what, they're just giving him an easier death because
Whatever helps you get
that's
through
the
it.
only time I think it's okay to kill an animal is when it's rabid because there's no hope when you're rabid. That's what I told myself, okay?
I'm not gonna contradict it and I'm not gonna burst your bubble.
Well,
But it was really sad. I know it's probably wrong. That's not what they intended. He was probably just there for the longest time and thought he was going home. To God.
well, anyway,
Oh to God.
the dogs.
Poor Nutsy.
Rest in peace, Nutsy. The dogs.
No, but in all reality, it was really sad.
Yeah,
like,
it
I
was.
literally was crying during
Yeah,
this
no,
scene.
it's very sad.
I'm glad we can have a laugh about it, though.
Well, we're not laughing about it. We're laughing about Hillary's interpretation.
That's what I had to tell myself to feel better.
Look, that's fine. I get it. I totally get it.
Sometimes I'm actually curious what it's like to like see these, like when she's watching this, like what that's like when Alex is watching these.
Yeah. Okay, so like, you know what's weird, Hillary? The more I think about it, the more I like kind of remember your version of the movie, but like
Where like an animal loses its collar.
where like she loses her collar and you know.
Thank
Maybe
you.
that's the 4-3 version. This is the Cinescope version.
I'm
They
thinking
don't
maybe
even
was
have
it
that.
was it a cat? But a cat wouldn't go to like a pound, like a pet.
Well, in Oliver and Company, I think that Oliver the cat does lose his collar at some point, but I think it's like because it gets taken from him, and then
Yeah, like
Yeah.
however the animal somehow doesn't have their collar anymore to call the owners, and the
Yeah.
owners are on vacation somewhere or they're not home, so they're like, well, now what? And they get trapped at the pound, and they're just like, this is my life now, and they're like getting used to their new life, waiting for a new family, and then they end up getting their family is like looking for them when they get back from vacation, and they're like, oh, you're here, we're saved.
Well, you know what? You're listening to this. If you have any idea what Hillary's talking about, shout out. Let us know.
I mean, I think you're thinking of Oliver and Company, but he doesn't go to a pound. He's like with Fagin, and he's used as like a bartering piece. But whatever.
I don't think I saw that.
Really? With like the dogs and the little orange cat?
Mm-mm.
Like where I named my
Yeah.
cat after?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Anyway, the dogs then talk about how there's only one dog who never gets caught, the Tramp.
He gets
This-
around. He's a hoe. He's a
and-
man whore.
This is the first time Lady hears him referred to as the Tramp. The dogs discuss his one Achilles heel, which is the women. They even start to recount all his ladies. There's Lulu, Trixie, Fifi, and Pedro's sister, Rosita, Chiquita, Juanita, Chihuahua.
I think. That's what he says.
Oh, he thinks, yeah.
Yeah.
Our next song starts, What a Dog. It's He's a Tramp, sung by Peggy Lee.
Yep.
It's a song basically detailing for Lady that he's quite the ladies' man. And his main weakness is women. Even though he is a tramp, the ladies still adore him.
And he's trouble.
Yep, and they wish that he would be with them.
Yeah.
Boris does remark at the end of the song, though, that one day he thinks one lucky lady will change his ways.
I think he knows it's Lady.
Yeah.
I think he's like, ooh.
One lucky lady, wink, wink,
Yeah,
wink. Yeah,
yep.
that kind of deal.
Yep.
And then to finish off the scene, Bill the dog catcher comes in and to tell Lady that she's been claimed and she's on her way out of there.
Maybe it's Lady and the Tramp too, and maybe you have seen it.
Did that happen in Lady and the Tramp?
I'm pretty sure he gets rid of his collar. Hold on, I'm sorry. This is gonna bother me now.
No,
I know. It's bothering me too. But I remember it being like an older animated film, and I remember it was like rainy and dreary out. It was snowy.
doesn't happen in Fox and the Hound, does it? No, right?
No.
I think it was nice that Aunt Sarah at least, because I assume they call the house to say, hey, we have your dog here.
Yeah, they do.
It's nice that she was like, she didn't just go like, I don't have a dog, and hung up.
Well, I do.
Well, because it's not her dog.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what
do
is she
think-
gonna say?
Yeah, like I do think she like has a responsibility to get.
Could you imagine
the
that?
dog.
Yeah, your dog is gone. Just trying to kill the baby.
They would have been like, no.
Yeah.
Back at her home, Jock and Trusty try to cheer up Lady, and they're
Well,
playing.
once she gets home.
Yeah, she's home now.
Like they call Aunt Sarah comes to get her,
Yeah.
comes to get her, and you know.
Yeah, and Jock and Trusty try to cheer up Lady, and they're both gonna offer up their hands in matrimony.
Because you know why? Because they think that she's spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
They think that she had slept with Tramp and she's gonna get pregnant, and they're like, and that
I can
Jim,
provide you a steady home.
yeah, and that Jim Deere and Darling are gonna be like, yo, get the fuck out, you hoe. Like that's what they think.
Wow. Well, I guess it's nice of them. They find Lady sad and chained up to her doghouse in the yard. She tells the two she doesn't want to see anyone and that she's so embarrassed. But she's touched by their offer, but politely declines.
Who was she embarrassed in front of besides them?
I think society,
Who
Yeah.
the fuck else is there?
the dog community, they talk.
I do.
Are there other dogs that are like?
There's
There's a
like
lot of other
dogs
dogs.
running all around
Yeah.
town.
No, but not those dogs. I mean like elite dogs. You
I'm
know?
sure there's
the
other
elitist,
snobby-
snobby dogs.
Yeah, in this community, I'm sure they all have very snobby dogs.
Wow.
Tramp then resurfaces and tries joking with the three dogs, but they rebuff him and his bone that he brought for Lady.
Yeah, he. I don't know why he thought that he would be able to get away with this situation. Hillary's really deep in thought trying to find this movie.
I'm like just looking at images of like different movies. I'm like, maybe this will ring a bell.
Lady dismisses Jock and Trusty, saying that she can handle Tramp herself. Tramp tries to reason with Lady that it wasn't his fault that she got caught, and he thought that she was right behind him the whole time.
I mean, yeah, but like, still.
You should have you didn't have to go stir up those chickens. That's what led to all this.
Yep.
Lady opens up about how frightened she was at the pound, and Tramp says, who could ever harm a little trick like you, which reminds Lady of the name Trixie. And she angrily confronts Tramp about Lulu and Trixie and Rosita Chiquita, whatever her name is.
Yep.
Tramp is caught off guard and stammers, trying to come up with an excuse, but he really doesn't have one. Lady doesn't want to hear
Caught.
it. Yep. And tells him off. Tramp takes his bone and literally leaves with his tail between
I
his
know.
legs.
I do feel bad for both of them here because I feel bad for Lady because, you know, obviously she's upset and embarrassed and like thinks that they had something special and like now she feels like
This is just Friday for Tramp.
Yeah, and then I do
Yeah.
feel bad for Tramp because I feel like he actually does care about her and like his past behavior is like being held against him a little bit.
Yep. Well, when he leaves, Lady sees that the rat from the beginning of the movie is back in the yard.
That fucking rat.
This evil
Remy,
rat
what are you doing here?
with his
No.
yellow eyes makes his way through the yard, but Lady...
It's like Scott Fargus.
Scott Fargus, he had yellow eyes. But...
Oh God help! Yellow eyes.
But Lady cannot chase the rat away because she's chained up to her doghouse. And the rat realizes this, makes its way up the side of the house, and enters the house through the baby's open window in this pouring rain.
So I want to know. First of all, I wrote down Lady is so good and protective, which she is, and then I wrote I feel bad for the rat, but also why was it trying to get into the baby's room? Like what? Like what was it doing? Why was it like? I'm gonna go in the baby's room.
I think the implication is that this rat, for some reason, wanted to, like, kill the baby.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. But more than anything, so Aunt Sarah is sleeping, I guess,
In their bed. I wrote that down too.
Yeah.
Like, that's so weird. I mean, I guess where else would she sleep? But that's weird, no?
But she...
I don't know. Where else would she sleep? When I babysat for my cousin's kids,
But why-
I slept in the mom and dad's bed.
I guess.
Like, it just started raining, but, like, even without the rain, why would you leave the window open in the baby's room? This is how people...
See, this is what I'm saying. She doesn't know how to deal with babies.
Well, Tramp hears Lady barking and comes back to see what's wrong, and Lady tells him that the rat is in the house and guides him to enter the house through the doggy door. Tramp enters the home and makes his way to the baby's room and starts growling at the rat. The two kind of size each other up before Tramp charges at the rat, chasing it all around the room. The two throw paws at one another, and Lady manages to break free from the doghouse, ripping the chain off. She enters the nursery and finds Tramp chasing the rat, still destroying the room in the process.
Yeah.
In the chase, they accidentally... They knock over the baby's crib, causing the baby to immediately start crying. This seems catastrophic if this happened in real life, knocking the crib over. You found it?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I literally Googled Disney movie where dog loses collar. The AI overview. In Disney's Lady and the Tramp, the character Lady, a pampered Cocker Spaniel, loses her collar after an encounter with a group of stray dogs. This event is a key plot point as it leads to her being taken to the dog pound and subsequently meeting Tramp.
Can you screenshot that?
How did this happen?
I'm being serious because I actually Googled the exact same thing and I didn't get that response.
I'll send it to both of you.
Thank you.
Well, now I'm confused.
They changed the movie. I'm telling you. I was waiting for Lady to lose her collar this whole time.
Well, now, wait, now I gotta... Because she has the collar in the dog pound, because they remark on it.
Yes, she had her collar the whole time.
Well, now I gotta know. What's the deal here?
I'm gonna watch the live action one. Maybe it was the live action one.
Okay, so I don't really know what's happening here. I do have like a vague memory of what Hillary's talking about, and now I feel like we're just being Mandela'd all over the place. I don't know what's happening.
I'm sorry to do this to you guys.
So yeah, while the rat and Tramp are fighting, they knock over the crib with the baby inside.
I know, that's so sad.
I feel like if this were real, this would be catastrophic, would it not?
I mean, it probably would. I mean, honestly, babies are like more resilient than you think. But yes, it would be probably fairly damaging to the baby. Hold on, Hillary has more.
I'm really sorry.
No,
This actually solves the puzzle because I don't know why I got something different. I just straight up Googled, does Lady lose her collar in Lady and the Tramp? In the original one, she does not. However, in the 2019 live action remake, Lady does lose her collar. The pet store owner removes it before placing the muzzle on her, and she escapes before it can be put on.
Okay.
Before the collar can be put back on.
Okay.
So that's why I remember it, because I watched the live action one recently.
Okay. That
So.
makes sense. Mystery solved, everybody.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone. Eventually, Tramp chases the rat behind a chair, and the curtains rip down with the music settling, implying Tramp killed the rat here?
Yeah.
Okay.
The rat is DEA dead.
All the noise has woken up.
Oh, that explains why the rat was still behind the curtain.
Yeah.
When
Dead.
I was like,
They don't show it, obviously, but the way the music kind of, like, gets silent and,
Yeah.
like,
The
calms.
crescendo.
Yeah.
But then poor Tramp, he comes out like limping.
I know.
So the rat bit him, and I hope he got some rabies shots for that. Just
I'm sure
saying.
he's fine because he ends up like
Yeah, but
going
I'm just
up.
saying.
Yeah.
I hope they did the, you know,
All the noise...
end up like Nutsy.
Oh no! Rest in peace.
All the noise has woken up Aunt Sarah, who charges in to hear the baby crying, the room destroyed, and all she sees is the two dogs at the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
She rushes over to console the baby and traps Tramp in the closet with a broom and puts Lady in, I guess this is like the garage?
No, it's like their cellar.
Their cellar, okay. While Aunt Sarah calls the dog catcher to get Tramp.
Yeah.
And she has to like convince the dog trapper. She's like, I don't care that it's the middle of the night. Get over here and get this beast.
Well, he said he was the only one there, and she's like, I don't care if you are there alone, young man.
This is Bill the dog catcher, right?
Yeah.
He's on call all hours of the night.
all the time.
Yeah.
Now, Hillary, did you recognize Aunt Sarah's voice?
Oh, I didn't even...
anything?
I must have skipped over that, yeah. We know. We're going to quiz you.
She's in a lot of other things.
It was familiar, but I don't know. Just tell me.
She's a fairy godmother.
Oh yeah.
This is,
I knew I would be like, oh after
Yeah,
you
this
told
is
me, but
Verna
I would have never said
Felton,
that.
fairy godmother, Queen of Hearts, Flora. She does a lot of Disney
Yeah.
stuff here. So
Yeah.
during this time, she appears in like every single Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
We then see, conveniently, Jim, Deer, and Darling. Their train has arrived and they're home from
In
their
the
trip.
middle of the night.
It's like 2 a.m., but they're home. As they walk down the block, they see that their lights are on, and there's a car parked out in front of their house. And
Well, that's the dog
carriage.
catcher.
it's a dog catcher. As they enter the yard, they see Tramp being whisked away by the dog
They're
catcher.
like, what's going on?
Dog catcher tells Aunt Sarah that they've been after this one for a long time. And when they question the dog catcher, the dog catcher tells them that he's here picking up a stray that they caught attacking a baby.
And they're like, oh my god, my baby!
Yeah,
This
they-
is why you shouldn't leave your newborn home alone, just
You
saying.
think?
I mean, not alone, but basically alone.
They-
Aunt Sarah's useless.
Yeah, she was incapable.
Yeah, they immediately rush inside to see
Probably-
if their baby's okay.
The dog was probably, I mean, the baby was probably better alone because Lady would have been.
Yep.
They run past Trusty and Jock, who, even though they didn't like Tramp, they're even surprised to hear that he would stoop to something like this.
Yeah.
Jim Deer and Darling find Lady trapped in their cellar, and they...
And Aunt Sarah's like, no, don't let her out. She's rabid or whatever the fuck she says. And Jim
Yeah.
Deer's
They're
like,
shut the fuck up.
yeah, Jim Deer's like, no.
She runs out of the cellar and immediately goes upstairs to the baby, and Aunt Sarah's like, the beast! She's running to get the baby! But Jim Deer reasons with her that she's trying to tell them something, and they all go upstairs to the nursery where Lady shows them that there's a dead rat behind the chair.
Oh shit. Then everybody feels bad. Everybody misjudged Tramp. You dicks. That's what I wrote.
Yeah. I'm surprised they weren't like, Aunt Sarah, what the fuck? There's a dead rat in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Trusty and Jock realize that they have misjudged Tramp, and they rush off to stop the dog catcher before it's too late.
And Trusty's like, I could sniff him out. And Jock's like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go.
Jock finally works up the courage to tell Trusty. They both know his nose just doesn't work.
And
the
he's
same
like in
anymore.
the middle of like the wet street, like sniffing around in the mud.
Well, sure enough,
And Trusty's like, I will show you.
he does show them. He finds the scent and tracks down the dog catcher. And they get up on the side of the car.
And he howls.
They manage to stop the dog catcher by barking along the side. It's being pulled by a horse. The horse is spooked, causing him and the carriage to slide out on its side and crash into a telephone pole.
Yeah.
Telephone pole. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
they did have telephones then.
Lady, I guess Lady, like, managed to convince Jim Deer to drive and chase
Well,
after the dog.
I think they, because she, can talk now.
Yeah.
But I think what happened was Jim Deere and Darling probably, because Aunt Sarah was probably like, oh, this other dog was in the house, and like I found both of them, and so they probably were like, oh my god, this dog saved our baby. They're gonna get rid of this dog. They shouldn't, like like they probably were like, no, don't
Yeah.
kill him.
They arrive to the scene of the crash, and Lady greets Tramp in the back of the car, but as she's doing so, we hear whimpering from the front and see Trusty laid out underneath the wreckage.
I was so upset.
And then the Jock's little.
Yeah, he nudges him to try to wake him up before howling in grief.
Aw.
So here's a fun fact, not so fun, but in a couple seconds we find out Trusty's okay. He's fine.
Thank God.
The reason why he doesn't move at all and is knocked out here is because originally Trusty was going to die here.
And they just didn't reanimate it?
Yeah, he just has his arm bandaged later on. He's okay, but
Which, also, by the way, how long does it take for his arm to heal? Because,
it's Christmas now, I know.
yeah, and like, what's
know.
the gestation period
Well,
for dogs?
he's old,
Originally, Trusty was going to die here, and that's why he looks the way that he does. But Walt,
Dead.
he watched it, and he decided to not kill Trusty because he tried to avoid a similar reaction when Bambi's mom died,
Yeah.
killing another animal. So Walt saves Trusty here, basically.
Thank God. We don't like dead animals.
No.
Remember that, everyone.
Yeah, we're gonna kill Mufasa a bunch of years later. We then fast forward again to Christmas Eve and see quite the development here. Tramp now has his own collar and tags, and he's been adopted by Jim Deere and Darling.
And they have puppies.
They have puppies of their own. They have 4 puppies, 3 that look like Lady, 1 that looks like Tramp. We would later, in the sequel, this one's name is Scamp, right?
Scamp. I don't remember the girls' names though.
The baby is now 6 months old, and actually it looks a lot like Michael from Peter Pan.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we've got the
Yeah.
same hair, same face.
Well, I feel like Darling looks like the mom
Yeah,
from
same
Peter Pan.
and
Just
Darling too. The baby and the dogs pose together for a photo by the tree, and outside we see that Jock and Trusty, Trusty's alive. They make their way to the house, and Jim Deere
Alone.
Yeah, no animals, no owners or anything.
Where are Jock and Trusty's owners the entire movie? Their dogs are just out and about doing all kinds of shit, and they don't have any idea.
And Jim Deere and Darling are just like, oh, come on in, let's celebrate Christmas together, all of you. So the dogs are all happy to be reunited again, and we even hear Jim Deere asking where the dog biscuits are that Aunt Sarah sent for Christmas,
Yeah,
showing
so she must have.
She's turned around on the dogs as well.
As she should, because what the fuck, Aunt Sarah?
No. I think she laced them.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
That's like really.
And then Trusty sniffed it out.
Dark.
He said we can't eat these.
That's dark. Damn.
That was the uncut. That was
That was the director's cut. The R-rated version, the X-rated version.
yeah.
Trusty and Jock remark on Tramp's collar and how similar their kids are to their parents.
Yeah.
Trusty begins to talk about Old Reliable again and asks the kids if he's ever told them about Old Reliable, and finally somebody has never heard of Old Reliable, which Trusty gets excited to tell them about.
No, we haven't, Uncle Trusty.
That's very good. Actually, it sounds exactly like them.
They did have like
So
that voice.
Old Reliable Trusty then begins to tell them about Old Reliable. The only problem is that it's been so long since someone asked him that he has forgotten what Old Reliable used to say. And
Must
all,
not have been that
But
important.
and all the dog, the laugh track starts playing and the music starts. All the dogs share a laugh together, and the film concludes with one last rendition of Peace on Earth, as the camera zooms out on one last look of the peaceful, snowy city again from the beginning, and that's the end.
From one Christmas to the next.
Yeah, this takes place over, I guess, a whole year. Mm-hmm. Or well,
No, it was
probably
a whole year.
multiple
'Cause
years.
Lady was probably like
Yeah.
at least like 2 months old or so when they
Yeah.
got her.
But
Also,
we end where we began.
did you notice that when the baby was crawling like to the door, and Darling went and grabbed him, his butt was hanging out? Did he not have a diaper on?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't notice that actually.
I noticed that, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe
These are terrible parents.
they just don't know what they're doing.
No.
Well, closing thoughts. Does anyone want to give their thoughts of what they felt about this movie?
My last comment was, overall, still love the movie, but what the fuck? And mostly just because, like, I feel like there was a lot of, like, unnecessary trauma with animals in this movie, but I did really like it, and I liked it a lot when I was growing up, so this is, like, not an unfamiliar movie to me. I think it's just, like, a nice classic. It's a nice little wholesome movie,
It is pretty wholesome,
yeah,
I'd say.
you know, like, it comes around and emphasizes the importance of love and family.
I think this movie hits a little differently when compared to when you were a kid watching it to when you're an adult and you've already lived through the whole lifespan of a dog.
Yeah.
I think it definitely, like, especially when you start thinking about the mindset of a dog and how they do react to all these life-changing events.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty clever aspect to it. I think the center theme of this movie is love, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of heartwarming moments, like through this, like the first time you see Lady as a puppy, the nursery scene, like we talked about, the spaghetti eating scene. It's just a big theme throughout the movie, which I think is very well done. I don't really understand the criticism of the CinemaScope and like their animation because, like I said, unless they change things, I mean, clearly we think there's scenes missing that we don't remember.
Well, no, I'm just mixing up the live action and the animated one.
But I think visually, I think this movie is actually very well done. I think there's a lot of moments where it doesn't really feel like an animated scene, but almost like a painting
Yeah.
Yeah.
that like we're witnessing coming to life
Yeah.
almost.
I like it.
So yeah, visually very stunning. I think it's also. No, go ahead, Hillary.
Oh, I really liked it.
Oh, okay.
There were some sad parts, but
Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
I even think
I feel like it's good. It still would be like entertaining. I feel like for kids these days too.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I even think they had some funny moments too.
Yeah.
Like thinking about like the way the dog would think about all these different things. The scene with the newspaper.
Yeah.
The fight between the policeman and the at the zoo. You know.
Even the caterpillar, like in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
The caterpillar like looked around and was like, shrugged, like, I guess I'm safe, and went
Yeah.
back in its hole.
Yep.
I think my only criticism is that like they do the pacing. They jump around a lot in this movie. Like the ending, we go from Tramp being caught by the dog catcher, Trusty may have died, and then it just hard cuts. Tramp is now living with Jim Deere.
Yeah,
And,
the ending was very
like,
rushed.
did they adopt Tramp? What's the deal with Tramp? Trusty and Jock's owners, where are they? Do they even have owners? Why are they all cool with their dogs being here on Christmas? Like, there's just a lot of fast forwarding.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that it's probably just to show that time elapsed.
Yeah, minor things in the...
Yeah.
And I kind of like your explanation of dogs have no sense of time.
Yeah.
So it's just sporadic moments here and there.
Yeah.
I feel like the beginning of the movie always feels so much longer because they're like really developing the characters and stuff. So then it just the ending feels rushed because you already know the character, so they're just wrapping up the story.
Well, it's like, come on, we gotta move this along.
Yeah.
But for me, overall, I really like this movie. I think it's an easy watch. I think it's an enjoyable watch. I think it's one of Disney's better, like, original stories, not based off a prior fairy tale. Like, yes, it's based off of a article in a Cosmopolitan magazine, but, like, this is a fleshed out story that they kind of developed.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a good job with it. I think the music is really soothing. It's beautiful at times. It keeps you entertained throughout.
Yeah.
Like, it's a classic for a reason.
I agree.
I agree too.
Yeah. And, that's Lady and the Tramp. We reviewed, we talked about it, and there you go.
Yeah.